Welcome to Hornet football on Hornet Radio this year. Hi, I'm the old guy along with Caleb Ramos and Corey Nalen. We're happy to bring you Fullerton College football, and we look at this season. Well, we hope it's a flip-flop for last year because last year it was a flop. The Hornets didn't do what they were supposed to do, and Caleb, they need to find some magic this year.
Yes, and I believe that they are going to have a huge jump at the quarterback position, getting Jack Shearhills back from Ferris State. We were able to talk to head coach Phil Austin, and he said he's one of the most athletic guys on the team, one of the most strong guys on the team. He's a great runner and has a good arm as well.
Well, we'll see if that happens here. And when we look at the defense is always strong with Brian Crooks.
Damian Hernandez back deep, and Angel Urban for Moorpark. The Raiders looking to start off their season on a positive note.
Urban to the near side of the field. Urban will take it at the 5. Urban's got it at the 5. Cuts up the middle, gets gang, tackled, ball comes out. Let's see who walks away with it. Hornets thought they had a fumble on the play. They come up with the ball, but they're going to mark him down just short of the 20. Moorpark is going to start things off, guys, offensively, and the team that's the defensive juggernaut should be coming up out there for your Hornets. Let's look at the starting lineup for Moorpark. Angel Urban out to the near side of the field. Aiden Karsh is going to be in at quarterback. First down and 10 at the 20 for the Raiders. They go with a spread offense quickly. Let's see if the Hornets can adjust to it. Go back, throw it over here quickly at the pass. Miss one, miss two. Jude Hooks. He's supposed to be the man. That wasn't Hooks that came up with it. Yeah, it was. Jude Hooks gets that reception. Urban goes to the far side of the field. Aiden Karsh still in at quarterback. Gain of 7 on the play. Now they take their time, look back over. In the slot, Worthy. So in the near side of the field, it's going to be Urban and Worthy. In the slot, now Worthy comes out of the slot. Run a option. Get all the way up.
And Mark, you look at this Fullerton College defense over the last 10 years, 15 years. You can even go back to that 2013 championship game. This is a team that is always good against the run, and it's going to be key for them throughout the entirety of the season that they can bottle up the run.
First down and 10 at the 30 for the Raiders. Try to get the lineup to jump. Don't do it. Johnson looks at everything. Karsh at quarterback. In across the middle on the dime right there to Worthy, the wide receiver.
And on the first 2 tackles, that was All-American linebacker Ethan Charpentier for the Fullerton College Hornets. I expect to see a big season out of him, potentially Defensive Player of the Year if he keeps up his play and improves on last season.
Going to the far side of the field is going to be Jude Hooks. We got told he's the real thing. Angel Urban comes to the near side of the field. Defense crawls up. Now they're going to go back into the backfield. Like to flip things around here. Karsh himself takes it, cuts right off left tackle. Gain of 7. They're going to give him only 6 on the play.
It was a really well done read option by the quarterback. He had about half, if not, I want to say 2/3 of the Fullerton defense going with the running back, and he had me for a second as well on the quarterback keeper.
Rise Kelly now in the slot here on the right-hand side. Fullerton almost jumps. They do. Let's see if we get motion against the Raiders. They do. And so the Hornets almost jump, but that draws the offense to move. They call it against the Raiders. That's going to move them back 5 yards. First penalty of the game. We just started. It's 12-28 here in the first quarter on a great Saturday afternoon.
And that defense, did you get some?
Nope.
So as Caleb mentioned, Ethan Charpentier. We'll get to some others in just a moment after this play, Mark.
Second down and a long 9 for the Raiders. They've been moving the ball consistently so far offensively. See what happens here with 12:14 to go. Karsh looks like he's changing things at the line of scrimmage. Here come the Hornets. Karsh on the dime again to Rise Kelly. Rise Kelly, a nice looking little receiver.
Yeah, tackled by Xander Chisholm coming up from that safety position. Good stop, makes it a little bit third and short and very manageable for the Raiders. Up front, Tommy Inouye, Josh Greffin also up front. Look for Oscar Madrigal, number 77 for the Hornets, to have a big season. He's out right now.
Jude Hooks on the far side of the field. Angel Urban on the near side of the field. Third down and a long 4. We get a little motion, nothing thrown there as a back step. Pressure again, down the middle. Oh, not covered, but the receiver was overthrown. Corey, he was in the gap.
Well played against that too deep zone that Brian Crooks likes to run. Xander Chisholm was there late. Ethan Charpentier was chasing.
Raiders right now keeping the offense on the field. Caleb?
There was a very good reason it was overthrown. He got absolutely drilled. The Hornet D-line ran a looping blitz, and it confused the right tackle and right guard, and there was a free lane for the linebacker, and the quarterback got hammered, tried to get it out before he could.
Well, it's interesting. The Raiders were going to go for it. They changed their mind, so they decided to punt it away. Back deep for the Hornets is going to be J.T. Weir. So Weir's going to be standing at the 15-yard line. Defense stands up big to start this game off. Pressure up the middle. Blocked at the middle of the field. Picked up. This is an easy 7 for the Hornets on a pick up and score by John Mitchell, who comes up the middle. I'm all taken down altogether.
There was half the Moorpark team didn't even realize it was blocked. They ran another 15 yards. They had to hear the cheering before they realized that the punt was blocked and it was going the other way.
Yeah, right up the middle, and all of a sudden the next thing you need, John Mitchell picks it up on the dead run and goes all the way in. So the Hornets special teams gets on the board. They run a 2-point conversion, and they come up short. Well, they got a break. They decided to try and oomph the score, but Caleb, good way to start.
Absolutely. I mean, that was our first look at the offense for the Hornets, and if the first drive is anything to go by, we won't be seeing a ton of them to continue in this game.
So in other words, what you just said is that special teams is special today. They should score all the points on the air. So your Hornets, with 11:21 to go in the first quarter, come away with a big special team touchdown here on Hornet Radio. Don't forget, later on this month, we're going to have a little Fullerton College football. Joseph Pavlenko and Ryan Osborne are back with Hornet Soccer here on Hornet Radio. And Caleb, we're going to be here for every home game. So we're not going to call it Football Fridays anymore. So it's going to be called the Weekday Kickoff with Joe and Ryan. Or is that week like in W-E-A-K? Is that what you're telling me with Joe and Ryan? Oh, okay. There we go. Joe and Ryan are here today with us. Hornets up by 6 early. 11:21 to go. Pooch kick, middle of the field, signaled for a fair catch, so the play comes to an end. Little contact. I love no flag by the officials.
It did look like he tried to stop. That's why there was no flag called. There was a solid amount of contact, but not quite enough.
So they're going to mark it down at the 37-yard line.
If the start of this game and history between these two teams is anything to go by, I feel like we should see a solid Fullerton win here today. The last time these two teams played were the last two Fullerton College National Championships, 2016 and 2017. And being the dominant team that they were, they won 62-6 and 57-0.
So Moorpark comes back out. Karsh, see what he does, looks at the defense. Defense looks like they're going. We're going to get a illegal procedure is what they're calling. We'll see if they do. Waiting for the officials. We get a delay of game against the Raiders. That's going to move them back 5 yards. Here on the near side of the field is going to be Urban. Next to him is going to be Worthy in the slot. Trips to the near side of the field for the Raiders. 1st and 15. Look back. Lots of time. Middle of the field on a delay pattern. Nice little pitch and catch to Ethan Laskella. Laskella comes up with a nice catch. Big gain on the play for the Raiders. Laskella in the backfield now. Urban comes to the right side of the field. Hands it off to Laskella. Laskella comes across. Nice little run all the way to the 50. Now they're across the field. They're going to get into Hornet territory. Enough to move the chain.
That was another nice wrap-up tackle from Ethan Charpentier, and he was able to pile drive him to the floor. Not it back deep for the Hornets.
Angel Urban comes up to the line of scrimmage. Worthy in the slot next to him. 1st down and 10. The Raiders are moving the ball against the defense. They did that the first time out. Roll out. Flipped. All by himself is Angel Urban. And Angel Urban, who just snuck out to nowhere's land, gets that catch for a 1st down.
And there was a huge block on Ethan Charpentier by wide receiver Damian Hernandez. Maybe a bit of a blindside, and he got flattened.
Mark, one thing that we've always heard in the last, especially 8 years, is that the linebackers lead the defense for Brian Crooks. If they are smart linebackers and with a great football IQ, you're going to see them control the entire way that the defense goes. So in order for Fullerton to have a good game today, those linebackers have to be engaged in getting outside the hash marks.
And he already talked about having experience at linebacker. So, Ryan, if the linebackers get beat, it's not because they're new faces on the field.
And forgive me, Mark, because I wasn't here at the start. Is Mohamed Hassaneh in the lineup for them today?
I do not know because his name was not mentioned to me. So offsetting penalties. So we're going to replay the 1st down. So penalties on both teams with 10 minutes and 9 seconds to go here on Hornet Radio. Don't forget, Hornet Radio back with Hornet football, one of the best soccer teams in the nation. And, of course, if you're listening to soccer and you want to follow it, well, Hornet Radio will have all the home games for the Hornets. And don't forget, there's soccer on sportsnetusa.net. Karsh at quarterback. Empty backfield. Karsh looks over. The Hornets look like they're bringing heat. They are. They're selling out the house. Karsh throws it down the middle of the field, and all alone was Worthy. Ryan Osborne, if you were walking to a bus stop, he'd be standing there by himself.
It starts with Xander Chisholm. He comes up 5 yards, and that pass goes just over top of him. It's good coverage from the Hornets, but you find that extra pocket of space, and it's going to give you a nice gain.
1st down and 10. Near side of the field is Urban. Standing next to him is going to be Worthy. Karsh in a quarterback. He's looked good back there today. If you're a Raiders fan, this is excitement for Moorpark. 1st down and 10. Goes back again. Looks for the same receiver. Oh, missed him. And that was Hernandez as we get a flag on the play.
The Hernandez just wasn't there for the ball. He got away from the defensive back, but he was looking in the wrong direction. The ball was thrown a little bit behind him. He doesn't have eyes in the back of his head.
But, Caleb, you're a football guy. You look at the defensive back there. One of the main priorities, especially in getting that guy who's coming across the middle or going towards the goal line, is to bump him off his route. Because if you can do that right at the start inside the legal opportunity, then you take away their timing, and you can't get that forward pass.
We've got 2 flags on the play. We've got a hook on the defensive back. I thought there was one in the huddle, but that just got picked up. So the penalty is going to be against the Hornets. So 2 flags against the Hornets.
One was a personal foul. That one gets declined. And then, like you mentioned, Mark, the hook is what allows for the automatic first down.
So it's going to move it all the way down to about the 10.5, 11-yard line. 9:10 to go. Tell you what, the white and powder blue is making a move against the dark blue Hornets. 9:10 to go. 6-0. Fullerton does it on a special teams play. Moorpark is showing offense. We'll see if they can sneak into the gate. Karsh goes back. One personal receiver. What a route run by Damian Hernandez. Starts in the backfield. Wheels out. And Ryan Osborne, if he was buying groceries, he'd have paid for all of us on that one.
So he starts on the right side of the line of scrimmage, goes into motion on the left. And like you mentioned, Mark, it's all about the sell on this because he shows that he's going out to the flat, shows that he's going to stay in the flat, so it forces the linebacker to commit to him. The moment that the linebacker takes one step towards him, he flashes out towards that back pylon, and he's got an open lane.
I tell you what, if he wouldn't have caught that ball, we would all started laughing up here. So Moorpark makes it look easy on their second set of offensive plays that they've had here. And I tell you what, the Raiders looking good. I'm going to look at you, Caleb. You were down in the field talking to the assistant head coach, and he told you last year to this year is based on basically one thing.
Becky.
Moorpark didn't have enough depth coming in these last few seasons. They were throwing out people on special teams that they shouldn't be, and they just weren't able to keep up their tempo that they like in order to win games.
So the Hornets give it up to start things off. Let's see now as they get a chance. On 3. Cartagena back deep along with JT Ware. So we'll see what happens here as the Hornets looked like, well, we were feeling good for 5 minutes.
Just about. I mean, maybe about 2 minutes of game time.
Dana at the 3. We're at the 3. Spins, gets up. So wrong person catches. JT catches that one. Takes it up. Yep. All the way up to, and I'm going to see where they actually mark him down at. Waiting for a foot on the line. I think it's going to be right at the 25. Just about an inch short. First down and 10 for the Hornets. As they come out, we actually get to watch the offense out there. Jack Sherholtz comes out at quarterback. We've heard a great deal about this young man. We'll see if he can do what we were told he could do. First and 10 for the Hornets. Sherholtz goes back, puts it on the dime. He's 1 for 1 in the season. And you know what? That beats last year's numbers already by 1 pass. First down and 10. I thought it was Logan Lester, number 8. Logan Lester caught that one. Sherholtz takes it, quarterback keeper, up the middle. Ball comes out, but he's down.
And Mark,
So the play was over.
This is what we were told about Sherholtz in the preseason, that he's a very physical or a very physically intimidating presence in the backfield. He can run it with power, just like you saw. He's not afraid to go into a defender's chest and push him back and push him forward. He likes to go with the running style, but he has the arm to go with it. That's how he was described. Not that he's a running quarterback, but he loves the running style and has an arm to chase.
Scherdorf throws it over here on the near side to Fox Haugen. And so Fox picks up things. So far in throwing the football, he's 2 for 2 on the day.
And one thing that you'll always notice about this offense, Caleb, is that they like to bring in a lot of different sets. As you saw there, they sub out 6 different guys to go not only on the offensive line, but a different wide receiver set. That's a typical Garrett Campbell offense. He has a lot of weapons to work with.
Indorf goes to the far side of the field for the Hornets. Straight dive play off a left tackle. Nice little run there by Quentin Isabel. So Quentin Isabel, Ryan talks about all the ways that they can make it. Well, a run play gets 6 on that one. It's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Hornets. Let's see if this is a quarterback keeper. Big 3rd down with 7:17 to go here in the first quarter. Empty backfield. Throw it out in the flat. Getting blocks out there. No slip. First down Hornets. And Ryan Isabel goes out in a flat route and gets the receivers to block for him.
But it starts with Desmond Duffy. Like you mentioned, the receiver, Desmond Duffy on that far side, sets up his block and goes with his man, forces a lane to be open, and allows for the receiver who gets the ball to decide which way he wants to go. It starts with the block and goes forward.
First down and 10 for the Hornets. Go back over the far side of the field. Quick little pitch, break a tackle, get a couple on the play, and I tell you what, that's going to be where you just keep going as Desmond Duffy once again comes up big.
And that's where his biggest quality is that not only can he block, we've been told he's a very good blocking outside receiver, but he can also catch passes and make plays happen. That's what you want from a triple threat wide receiver, a guy who can block for you and a guy who can also receive. It feels like it should be just the fundamentals, Mark, but too often we see one dimension.
Runner in motion. Going to go again on this side of the field and throw it to the man that did it as Isabel catches it and comes out. You got to like it's basically a flat pattern what's going on here with the offense.
Yeah, most of the passes we've seen so far today are just quick outs and easy for the quarterback to make, trying to get him into the rhythm and let his playmakers make a play.
Once again, throws it. Tries to get it on a comeback by Leonard Adams, but he doesn't do it.
Mark, go back to 2015 and 2016. 1 year with Joey Verhaeg, 1 year with Jordan Hoy. This is the style of offense that you saw from Fullerton where they set up those flat patterns and worked them until they stopped working. And that's what got their offense into a rhythm at those times. It'll be interesting to see if they keep this up not only against Moorpark, but against the rest of the SCFA.
Ware and Lester out far to the right. Churros goes back in that direction, and it gets knocked down as all of a sudden we've seen this play, Ryan Osborne. You go set up wide to the right, and then you run back towards the quarterback. Pass play that's really dependent on can the receiver get any yak after the ball's thrown to him. They quickly come back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10. So the ball is spotted right now at about the 27. If they tried a field goal, you'd add 5 and 10. That'd be about a 42-yard field goal. If they don't get it, I think they'll go for a first down. Go back. Double pump, sacked, and the first sack of the game for Moorpark.
That was Devon Robinson, who we just saw bat down that flat-out pass, and he's having a game so far. We'll see if it continues.
So that moves them out of field goal range on that play. The Hornets were going to go for it. Field goal range, here's them. Quentin Isabel in the backfield. And so we have timeout on the field. With timeout at the field at 5:17 to go, well, it's Moorpark 7, Fullerton 6 here on Hornet Radio with Hornet Football.
Mark, earlier this week you were able to talk to Caleb, and actually, Caleb, I'll bring it over to you. But you guys got to talk about House Sherbeck and why this is named the House Sherbeck Classic. Caleb, you learned a lot about a legendary coach, not only just for the football team, but in the community of Fullerton.
Yeah, I mean, that was what impressed me the most when I was learning about him, was the humbleness, the humility, and the fact that he wasn't first a football coach. He was a figure that the players could look up to and really be a mentor figure to them. That's the word I was looking for.
You're completely good. As if you want to be able to watch that coaches show, it is live on Hornet Radio's YouTube page. Go to YouTube, search Hornet Radio, and you can see more with Caleb and Mark coming up.
Well, we hope the Hornets are live on this play. Big fourth down. Churros goes back. It's good. Oh, field opens up like a giant ocean. He steps out of a tackle, keeps going, and Ryan Osborne, he steps out of a tackle that should have stopped him.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. You set that outside lane thanks to Desmond Duffy on that far side. Again, just enough to get in front of the defender so he doesn't keep his balance when he goes up to hit the quarterback. That's where the key is, Mark. The block forces the defender to be off balance, so you can't set your base and actually get full contact.
First down and 10 for the Hornets on a great running play. Isabel in the backfield. Near side of the field, Logan Lester. Chester across the middle, going down deep, and who was he going through? Logan Lester didn't come up. I think that was Lester that went down for the football.
You are correct.
It
Mark.
was.
He was trying to go towards a post route. He goes 3 yards up and then goes right towards that post coming across the middle. It was just a shade too low for him. But, Mark, if they're able to set up that play again, it's going to be there.
Watch Blaine McGee, the tight end on the far side of the field, if he sneaks out. They don't. Straight dive play up the middle. Nice little pickup right there by Quentin Isabel. It's going to bring up a 3rd and goal. So we'll see if the Hornets will settle for a field goal or maybe try and say, hey, let's set the tone if they don't make it in here. Isabel still back right there. Foxhaugen on the near side of the field in the slot next to him. Desmond Duffy on this side of the field. Going to look to the back. Takes off running, needs to flip, but we're going to get a flag and flag on the play. So we're going to see if that play stands or not. I would say no because where it got down at. Wait for the officials. Holding against the Hornets. That's going to back them up. Boy, I tell you what, beautiful play. And what happens? It gets turned away.
You're absolutely right. That was fantastic. Way to get out and roll to his throwing arm side. And a beautiful throw right as he was about to get hit right in the pocket of Jameer Cartagena's arms. For a touchdown, unfortunately, it is called back by holding.
So it's going to move it back to the 17. Look to go out in the flat. Sacked again. Hold it down there. Caleb, defense is speaking.
That was Devon Robinson once again. 2 sacks in the game already. He's doing a fantastic job working that right tackle.
And it all starts with the initial swim move, right? He gets into the backfield, but he doesn't bite on the pump fake, because that's the thing that worked for Fullerton on that last play that was called off due to a hold, is that the pump fake allowed for an extra lane for Shearholtz to go to that left-hand side. This time he doesn't bite, makes full contact, gets the tackle for a sack.
The Hornets are leaving the offense on the field. 4th down and 1.5 miles till they can find pay dirt. We'll see what happens. Are they going to try and get him to jump? No. Here comes the pressure. Deep into the corner. Fight for the back. Is he out of the end zone? Out of the end zone. Logan Lester was there. Logan Lester was out. Corey Nayland says he was out of the end zone. And so the Hornets get shut out.
There's a late flag on the field out near the corner where Lester was. I'm not quite sure what it could be. We'll wait for the officials.
So we're waiting to see what it is. The officials are pointing at each other. They're probably saying it's a hot day. Let's throw less of these. Here comes the call. And it's going to be against Moorpark. unsportsmanlike conduct. So it's after the play, the 4th down stands. They move the ball back. It'll be 1st down and 10 for Moorpark.
Yeah, I mean, there was probably a little bit of excessive celebration on the interception, but now this Moorpark.
No interception.
Sorry, on the
Incompletion.
On the incompletion, my mistake.
See,
now Moorpark has to go 91 yards against this great Fullerton defense.
See, Mark, the thing is that Caleb is so happy with how this first quarter has gone. We've gotten a lot of action between both these two sides with big plays. But here's the thing. You look at Fullerton the last time they played each other. You talked about it earlier in the week. We'll get to more on this in a minute. But Moorpark didn't have it against Fullerton each of the last 2 meetings. It's different this time.
1st down and 10 for the Raiders. Last time they had the ball, they marched down the field. The Hornet defense needs to find something. And a route going down the field, one-on-one play there against Jude Hooks, going down in a fly pattern, and I thought he had a step on the defensive back.
Caleb, I'll bring it to you. Last time these two teams played each other, it wasn't close.
No, it was 57-0 in 2017, and then the year before that, it was 62-6. But then again, those were Fullerton College's last national championship year, so obviously they had a dominant team.
Aiden Karsh got a 2nd down and 10. Fullerton jump, should be a flag. Big, deep, down again. Well, you go to Jude right on the money. Oh, that was dropped in the bread basket, and he just took the groceries home for a 1st down.
Yeah, Moorpark had a free play, decided to take a shot. The defensive back tripped. I believe that was Fred Adams over there on that play for Fullerton, and he tripped. The receiver from Moorpark wasn't able to keep his feet in bounds. Otherwise, it would have been a touchdown.
Aiden Karsh, I tell you what, guys, he's showing a lot of arm throwing the football out there.
And see, here's the thing, too, that hasn't been said yet, Mark. He looked at a 6-person rush when he delivered that and got contact after the throw. You talk about it all the time. If you're going to make that throw, who cares about the contact? Just let it fly.
Like Corey Nayland says, if you're going to get banged up, get the touchdown. 1st down and 10. The 38. He says, I'm feeling good. Again, same person. Does he have it? Oh, overshoots on that one again. That's their top receiver, and he's been looking like it so far in this game.
He did look like he maybe slowed down a little bit, trying to locate the ball. Looked like he couldn't quite see it. Maybe the sun was in the way. That's why he slowed down. If he had kept running full speed, I think he would have got it.
I know you're saying that because at top speed is you leaving the booth right now and getting home about midnight tonight. So 2nd down and 10. Moorpark is looking good to the near side of the field. Angel Urban, who looked good at the beginning, has been all of a sudden shut out for the Rex. They send pressure, throwing it up the middle. There's nobody there. Closest person, well, that's a Hornet trying to make the defensive play, and that was Norwood, who was back there on the defense for the Hornets.
There's a flag on the near side of the field. I believe, once again, after the play, looks like it goes against number 26, E.J. Robinson. He looked at the ref like, what did I do, as most football players do when they get a penalty called.
So we'll see what the call is. And I've got people up in the booth said the flag should get picked up because if it's a non-catchable ball. So once again, we're getting an unsportsmanlike conduct signal on the field, this time against the Hornets. So that can be, Caleb, where I turn around and look at the referee and say something to him. So it was an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Hornets, which moves it all the way down. And again, give it to Moorpark. Caleb in the coaches said, the last 2 times we played these teams, Ryan Osborne have said, last year, Ryan, they were not a bad football team. They got some bad breaks.
Yeah, and you mentioned that. I mean, you look at their record last year, if I remember right, 4 of their 6 losses were within a score.
Yeah. Little sidearm. Skip hop right there. Yeah, and go back to that, Ryan, because if you give them 2 of those wins, they've got a winning season.
And a bowl game.
And a bowl game. So they weren't that far away from being what we would have thought a good season for Moorpark last year. 2nd down and 10. Defense. A lot of yardage, not a lot of points. And realize the only points the Hornets have put up is on a special team blocked punt, picked up, and run into the end zone. The offense has put nothing on the board in this first quarter.
Yes,
We're going to get timeout Moorpark.
They have only had 1 opportunity, and they were really, really close, maybe half a foot away from getting a touchdown on their first drive. This is Moorpark's 3rd drive, and it's still within 1.
You know, pretty good and almost in football means, guess what?
Absolutely nothing.
Thank you. And that's what you look at when you see what the offense has done so far. Absolutely no points on the board. You can give me 500 yards, no points. Guess what? I'm going to beat you 3-0.
Yep.
Timeout on the field with 2:05 to go. This is Hornet football on Hornet Radio. We will be here for all the home games this season. No, we are not going on the road. So it's going to be myself, Ryan Osborne, Joseph Pavlenko, Corey Nalen, and the 145 sports broadcasting class here on the air this season. So that's what you're going to get this year for exciting Fullerton College football. Don't forget, though, if you say, well, how am I going to see the other games? A lot of the schools do broadcast their home games. Make sure you check their home sites to watch the team on the road. Moorpark comes back up to the line of scrimmage with 2:05 to go. Aiden Karsh looks things around. Has had a good first quarter. Karsh goes back. Karsh flips it out in the flat. Hit by 1. Backed off by 2. And I tell you what, if you can't make a tackle, you're going to give up points.
Yeah, that was 2 straight missed tackles and almost a third. If he wasn't on the sideline and shoved out, I feel like he would have broken that tackle and gone for even more, possibly even a touchdown.
That was Hernandez who picked up a few yards of that. 3rd down and a long 6 for the Raiders. Trips to the right-hand side. In the slot is going to be Worthy. Watch him because he's been the person so far. Urban out on the far side of the field. And, of course, top off the 3. Let's go back to Hernandez. Those are your 3 on the near side of the field. Once again, we're going to get timeout by Moorpark with 1 minute, 15 seconds. It's Moorpark up by 1. Moorpark 7, the Hornets 6 here on Hornet Radio. Don't forget, Hornet Radio, well, Hornet Radio is going to be around. Make sure you go and check out Hornet Radio. Watch things like the Coach's Show. If you like sitting at home and you're doing a little homework or trying to pay those back taxes that you've owned for the last 20 years, well, you know what? Hornet Radio would be the place to listen to because the music might take you back for the last 20 years.
Or if you're anything like me, you know, you're of the almost iPad generation, right? You sit down to have a meal and you got to have some sort of video on while you're eating. That's where you go to Hornet Radio's YouTube page, look at our backlog, and it goes back to, I believe, 12, 13 years ago.
You know, I thought you were putting yourself in Corey's category and you were going to be the eye patch generation. But, you know, Captain Jack back there, just nice and cool, taking it easy, Mr. Corey Nalen, who will be the voice on SportsNetUSA.net for a variety of sports this season. Along with Ryan Osborne, you're going to be out there for a little Saddleback football.
Yes, indeed.
Big 3rd down. The defense needs to find a little magic. Now's the time to step up with an interception for about 90 yards if you're a Hornet fan. Here comes the pressure. Throw it out in the corner. Coverage. Pull down. Oh! Talk about pretty. Take a paint on that one, and we'll see there's a flag on the play.
There's 2. One in the backfield and one in the deep corner by where Jude Hooks caught that touchdown.
In the backfield, I believe that's going to be a celebration type penalty. So we'll see what the behind the play one is.
On that play, Jude Hooks was just on an island, and we were told before the game that the coaching staff from Moorpark expects him to have a special season. Great receiver, and he showed it going up and snagging that over the top of the defender.
Well, I tell you what, if you just take this game so far, the offense for Moorpark is having a special season in this first quarter. They've looked like the real deal, and I know you were the one that loved to tell us how bad they lost to Fullerton twice. History doesn't mean much. It's what you're doing today, not what you did in the past.
Mark, they are fueled by the pizza that we had there last time they went to Moorpark. They grabbed some on their way here, and they have come to Fullerton ready to play because of it.
You know what really fueled them? It was probably at one of the local establishments that we stopped at in Cornell and said, no, not here. And everybody in Moorpark remembered that and said, next time we go to Fullerton, we're going to get even. We're not going to eat at any of their restaurants. 1:10 to go here in the first quarter. So it is after unsportsmanlike conduct, after the touchdown. And Ryan, I think you were right when it came to celebrations.
Yeah, it was the celebration in the backfield that caused that. Just a little too much and directly in front of a Fullerton College player. And that's usually going to get you a flag every single time. It's different if you're doing it to yourself or to your sideline, but in this case, it was directly in front of a player, and that's going to cause that hanky to come out.
You know what I keep thinking they're saying down there? Which one of you guys is Caleb? I saw you on the coach's show. So Moorpark.
So they're not offering you slices of pizza.
That's it.
That's all right.
1:10 to go. Moorpark looking to put another point on the board. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So it's 14-6, and Moorpark is living up to the name Raiders. When you think about them, they took away from the offense. They stopped them when they needed to, and then like good Raiders, what do when they have an opportunity? They sack the other city and get everything they can. That's what they have done to the Hornets or the Hornet family. So far, they have robbed them blind, and it's 14-6 here at the end of the first quarter.
I think it all starts with quarterback play, Mark. I mean, you look at the way
he's sweet right now, isn't he?
You look at the way he's been in the pocket. He's not afraid to deliver a ball, and that's the thing, Mark. We've seen a lot of guys with a lot of arm talent, especially over the last 10 years, guys who can throw that deep ball, guys who can thread a needle, but too often we see them hold on to it because they're thinking in their mind, well, I don't want to make a mistake. And instead of actually delivering that throw, they're afraid to make a mistake, and they get sacked. Or they get flushed out of the pocket. In this case, he's saying, I trust my arm, I'm letting it fly, and it's causing them to go down the field.
And he trusts his receivers. Those kids have hands. So if you're a Raider fan, you're elated. If you're a Hornet fan, there's a lot of game to play. And we've seen that happen before for your Hornets. So once a Hornet, always a Hornet. We'll watch this Hornet team bounce back as this game goes on. Here on Hornet Radio. Little down the middle. Let's see if they let it run out of bounds. They don't. Pick it right up. There was J.T. Weir. Weir cuts up the middle. Gets away from one. Oh, it was going to be a foot race as Weir gets it across midfield all the way to the 45.
That was a great run by J.T. Weir. You mentioned it almost letting it go out of bounds. The ball looked to me like it started to knuckle, and it was going to die on the next bounce. So I think that was a really smart play. Great blocking by the rest of the special teams unit to give him a hole up the middle to cut through.
Sherholtz brings the team back out. Fred Hunter in at running back. So Hunter, the deep setback. First down and 10 across midfield, right at the 47-yard line. Looking for the response. Great field position if you're a Fullerton fan. This is where they need to take advantage. Sherholtz gets set. Goes back. Hunter sneaks out. Cross the middle. Picked right at the 20. And tell Grandma I'm coming home, Ryan. He looked at the receiver. Caleb. He looked at the receiver and stared him down, and the defensive back got there first.
Yeah, and on top of all of that, the ball was underthrown. You can't stare down a receiver and then have bad ball placement. If the ball was placed better, maybe in the over the shoulder in the breadbasket, I think it would have been a nice completion. But having that kind of ball placement just wasn't enough, and the defender even had to dive for it as well.
So it's going to be a turnover after they scored a touchdown, and now Moorpark is looking. We get an other. So we're going to mark that off against. Boy, there must be a lot of talking going on the field, or these officials only know one signal, so every foul is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well,
one of the two.
Well, that's not. I think it's got to be the first one because they did call a false start and a holding earlier as well.
Oh, that's true. There is a lot of yapping going on down in that field right now.
Oh, I thought
Big
you were
turnover.
Say in the booth. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's true. Big turnover for the Hornets as Moorpark now with 57 seconds to go. Let's see if they go for all the change on this next play. Quarterback has been money. Aiden Karsh is looking sweet. Karsh keeps it himself, tries to get the outside, gets a little across the line of scrimmage, bring up about a 2nd down and 8.
That was Carden Haga on the tackle again, not fooled by the fake like he was earlier, and dragging him down just after 2, it looks like.
2nd down and 8. 32 seconds to go in this first quarter. Karsh looks things over. High snap. He's going to take it out himself. He's taking a stroll, slides just across the 20. That's going to be enough. Oh, they're going to mark him at the 20 with his hip. So I didn't think he went down that early, but I'm not down on the field, so they're going to mark it right at the 20-yard line. And that should take us. We'll see if they're going to run it out or just let the clock run out.
They're going to let the clock run out on this one, Mark.
We're down to 4, 3, 2, 1. That's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. As we come to the end of the first quarter, it's Moorpark 14, your Fullerton College Hornets 6. Here on Hornet Radio, Joe, Ryan, Corey Nalen, the old guy, and the 145 sports broadcast class. And Joey, it's a pleasure to have you on the air as we get you come on the air here with Ryan Osborne and myself. In that first quarter, well, it was an offensive festival for the Raiders from Moorpark.
Yes, it has been a festival for them. They've been stopping Hornets from scoring every time. As well, they have less penalties than the Hornets. The Hornets so far have 4 penalties, while Maroon Park has about 3 so far.
Yeah, but it's really, and I don't know if we got total yardage, but I'd love to get total yardage on offense. We'll see if we can get that in a while. It's really been that Moorpark heavy arm Ryan Osborne for a quarterback that's been the difference in that first quarter.
It really has. You and I talked about it a little bit ago. Kirsch is just not afraid to let that ball fly. And like you said, the important factor is that he is trusting his receivers. You see him not waiting for them to come out of their break. He's throwing it to a spot and trusting that the timing is going to be there. And that's where the importance lies, Mark, because we're seeing each of those routes that have gone for touchdowns. You look at the one on the far side, directly to the pylon. It's supposed to be a quick hesitation right at the goal line and then stick towards that back pylon. He doesn't wait for the break. He throws it to a spot and lets his receiver get to it. Just before that, you saw a running back go from one side of the offensive line, come across, fake a flat route, and then go out towards that back pylon. Again, he doesn't wait for him to break. He sends it to a specific spot, trusts the timing of the receiver, and lets them go up with their hands.
Yeah, I mean, it really, like you said, it reminds you of Jordan Hoy from 2016, who was a guy who most passes completed 246. He sort of looks like Jordan Hoy right now out there. And if you're a Hornet fan, you know who Jordan was on that national championship team in 2016 Well, that's what you're seeing right here with him out there. I mean, that's the way he looks. They come back out. We get ready to start the second quarter. Hornet football here on Hornet Radio. Myself, Joey, Ryan Osborne, Corey Nalen, and a variety of people. Joseph Pavlenko, Becky on the board. A group here in the first half on Hornet Radio. Get ready to wind the clock. Your Hornets trailing by 8. Quarterback sneak, their version of what we may see at different levels. I don't think he's got enough for a first where they've got the ball spotted on the far side.
If it's that far side, Judge, then it should be about a half yard short.
So they are, Ryan, let's see if they move the chains.
And they are indeed.
I can't understand why they moved the chains. I saw where he put his foot down.
It was on one side of the hash mark, and then the first down marker was on the other side.
If you're a Hornet fan sitting over here, you're going, wait a minute. I have to go to my optometrist to try and see where that's right. I put my foot on the other side of the 20. They mark it on the other side of the 20, and that gives Moorpark a first down. We're not biased. We're just confused here at Hornet Radio.
And I agree with you on that, Mark.
Wait a minute. What's that mean? Oh, no, that's okay. First down and 10.
I think it was about the optometrist.
I think it was, yes, it was that.
You know, in other words, Joey couldn't see what was going on. Is that what you're telling me? Okay.
He was screened. He was screened.
Okay.
But, Mark, you look at these two offenses, and right now you look at Fullerton's offense, what worked for them were those flat routes, and it was giving them a lot of momentum and getting them up the field. If I'm not mistaken, they went 65 yards just based off of those specific patterns. Then you flip it to the other side. What has worked for Moorpark is just very quick hesitations off the line of scrimmage and go.
Yeah.
And it's worked each and every time. If I'm not mistaken, of course, this is my own crack statistician in my head, but they have had 6 different routes that they have gone to on those quick hesitations off the line of scrimmage. They've been successful on 5.
Jude Hooks on the near side of the field. He's been magical so far for the Raiders. Try to hand it off. It wasn't going to work. And this is what you want to talk about too, Ryan. The quarterback knew he was in trouble. He keeps the football, and you watch Aiden Karsh get something out of nothing.
Saying about Judas Hooks, can we go back to when he was able to almost score for Moorpark with that 40-yard catch?
Yeah, you look at that. He ends up going off to that far sideline, makes the catch, and it's worked for Karsh once again, giving him another opportunity for a big target.
Second down and a long 5 for the Raiders. Karsh looks at everything. Once again, you look at Hooks on the near side of the field. Empty backfield. We get a little movement, a twitch, a flinch against Moorpark. Oh, delay a game. So that's the second one they have had. And when you look at that, that's just the quarterback taking too long to get the ball off.
Agree. And that causes them to have another 4th penalty on their end and causing another error in this game for them.
So that's going to move him back 5 yards. It's going to make second down and 11 now. Karsh looks over, tries to get a signal from the sideline. Now he moves people back in. Changes the play up. Looks at his back for protection. Knows the pressure's coming. Rolls out. Looking, flips it. All wrist. And Ryan Osborne, talk about all wrist and then a catch right there by Ethan Lacera, the wide receiver who just gets on the sideline and pulls it in.
And here's the thing that works there, Mark, is like you mentioned, that all wrist, he's just slinging it from his side. And that's actually going to come back. If I'm not mistaken, it was a hold in the backfield. But he's just slinging it from his side to go with his momentum, because we've seen a lot of times where a guy will stop, try and set himself on that front foot, and then deliver a pass. By that point, the defensive back is already caught up. In this case, he lets his momentum take the ball and just float it right over top. Now, it doesn't end up counting, but it is still a nice play.
I tell you what, it looks pretty, and you've got to look at the receivers and be impressed with the amount of facts that everything that's thrown into a finger's reach, they're pulling it down.
Agree.
Come back out. Third down and 11. Go back, roll out against the pressure. Throw it into the flat. You need to miss a tackle? You do. First down, Moorpark. Move the chains, and the machine keeps rolling if you're a Moorpark fan.
How many times, Mark, have you said in the last 20 years, if something is working for you on offense, play to your strength and allow yourself to get that yardage?
Jude Hooks comes to the near side of the field. Angel Urban comes with him. Urban's been quiet so far now here for a while. I think there's motion on the far side of the field. You know, it's hard to hide yourself when you're 6'3", 325. Well, up here in the booth that might work, but not down on the field.
I'm trying to get there, Mark. I had a couple donuts today.
Okay. Hey, I got a whole box in front of me, and the variety is glaze, 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 and just in case, there's glaze if you like glaze.
Here's a couple chocolate.
Okay. First down. Go back. Quick, in the middle, right before the defensive back. And, Ryan, I am so impressed with the receiver. Worthy just turns and is there.
Yeah, he finds the end of his route, and it's a quick turnaround, Mark. All it is just go up 8 yards. We're going to set up the next play, make it more manageable. They're not trying to gain all 15 yards back on the same play. They're trying to get 8 to 9, so that way they can set up a second and short. That's where the route goes to. You get to that 8 or 9 mark, you turn around, present a target, and it's going to be success.
Second down and 4 for Moorpark. They run the quarterback option. This time he is just dumped in the backfield. Well, actually, he did. Dumped in the backfield. That's a tackle for loss because I'm going to spot it short. So I'm going to call it a tackle for loss.
It is, in fact, a tackle for loss. It's a half-yard back.
The other thing that's very interesting is the chemistry they're having. With the start of the game, you have been noticing they have not missed any throws. They have caught some and dropped some, but the chemistry is amazing.
So we're going to change. Big third down now. Defense has to change the momentum of this game because for me, as a Hornet fan, it has been all Moorpark. Here they come. They sold out. Flipped it out just a little too long, but even if he gets it there, are we going to get a flag?
Yes, we did. It looks like a personal foul at the end.
And it's going to be against Fullerton.
And that is Fullerton's 5th penalty of the day.
So they're calling it sideline encroachment.
So on the near side, the official went to move laterally and bumped into someone on the sideline, and that's
what that. And Ryan explained because there is a lane that you're not supposed to stand in.
There is. If you've ever looked at a football field and you see that very thick white lane that's just off to the sideline in between the 20 and the 20, that is the official's lane. It's for them to be able to operate and move back and forth unimpeded. The moment that they bump into someone, out comes the flag.
And they picked up the flag, Ryan, for the simple reason you have to warn them the first time. Ball hits the ground. You could flatten him. Kick's going to go up. It's going to take a hop. Continue. And they're going to take that right down. And, you know, the fact for the Hornets says he's kicking the football. Those games are on Tuesday and Thursday this year. I tell you, Greg probably could have found another soccer player out there here on Hornet Radio.
Mark,
so the defense, Joey, the defense steps up for the first time in this game.
Yes, they got their first stop of the game. They were able to stop Moorpark from going down the field and trying to score either a field goal again or a touchdown.
So here we come. Chris Lundsberg in at quarterback. So I was told we would have 2 quarterbacks, maybe 3 playing in the game today.
And Lundsberg, if I remember correctly, Mark, is out of Southern Utah.
Yes. Dive up the middle. Gain of a yard on the play. So we'll see what's going back. If he's more of a traditional drop back, is what we got told.
Passer, drop back guy, kind of a game manager in a sense. On the other side, what you saw earlier is more of a physical runner, athletic type of deal.
Hubbard to the near side of the field now. So Hubbard, one of many, put in there. Time, going deep, down the middle, throwing it deep, overshoots the receiver. And you saw a lot of arm on that one as JT Weir could not get underneath it.
And just what we were talking about a few moments ago, he's very comfortable in the pocket. There was pressure from the outside end coming directly towards his face, but he was able to stay in the pocket and deliver that even though there was pressure on his right side. He's very comfortable staying in the pocket and delivering even though he has a guy.
3rd down and 8 for the Hornets. See if Moorpark comes. He rolls out, flips it over, ball's tipped up, knocked away, and give it to Logan Lester, who played defense on that play and continued when the ball got tipped up, because I thought it was going to get picked after that.
The moment he saw that the defensive back was going to have the inside position on the route, he comes back, and like you mentioned, all he does is he's trying to smack away the hands of the defensive back from getting a clear opportunity to make the grab. So once the initial deflection happens, he keeps him off to the sideline and off balance, so he can't readjust himself and haul that in.
So a little stutter again. Ball goes down, look. Bigfoot, beautiful kick. Drives in deep. Taking it over his shoulder was Angel Urban, and that was just a fantastic punt. I tell you what, that was worth a free slice of pumpkin pie. Looking to see who's buying here. Oh, okay, it didn't happen. So that voice behind you, well, you'll hear that voice a lot this coming season on Fullerton College football this year. Little Fullerton College soccer ride. And what'd you say you guys are calling it?
It's going to be the weekday kickoff.
There we go. Here on Hornet Radio.
Wow. Wow.
I thought something to be a little more creative out of the mad scientist than you.
Hey. You didn't offer any suggestions.
Hey, I was basically told this morning I had nothing to do with it. So,
Like I said, you didn't offer any suggestions.
Moorpark says, we'll take one right now. We didn't score last time. Throw it out in the flat, and this works. Blocking the outside. Missed tackle. Second tackle there. First tackle slows you down. Second tackle takes you down. Leonard Adams makes a nice tackle for the Hornets.
And the way that works, Mark, is you're allowing the defensive end on that right side for Fullerton College to get into the backfield. You let the left tackle move up about 2 yards, go to his left, and it's kind of almost a screen pass.
Go back, slot, comes up to pick it just short. And I tell you what, that was a time that the quarterback got baited, reel in the fish, got off the line quickly.
E.J. Robinson was the one who was able to drop back on that one. He recognized what the pattern was going to be. So you saw him take one step back and then dive towards it. He breaks it up just a split second earlier, and he's in the end zone.
He had the momentum, but not the hand grip. He had it, but it was too short to grab on.
Big 3rd down for defense. Let's see if they send the house. They do. Here they come. Quarterback looks, throws it up, blocked again. Defense steps up time, and once again, Leonard Adams comes across and plays solid defense for the Hornets.
And all it is smacking the hands away, Mark. We've talked about it often. If a receiver doesn't go out with their hands and try and reel that in, allow it to go towards their body, the defensive back or the defensive player is going to have a chance at it. Same thing happens here. Receiver lets it get too far into his body, you smack away the hands, and it's incomplete.
So the defense steps up. It's still 14-6. Let's see if we can find a little magic on this return on Hornet Radio. Here comes the pressure. Low line driver gets hit by him, and they should mark this down at the 48. I wasn't blind on that one. So I'm talking the official timer sitting next to us, and both of us looked and said, hey, it hit his hand at the 48. They're going to mark it down at the 50. Good call by the head official.
This is like when you're playing bocce in the backyard and you just walk over to see where everything is and you take your left foot and just slide the ball a little closer. Same thing here on these punt coverages.
I thought it was more like playing golf with Corey Nalen when he just slides it closer to the hole and says par. Short field for the Hornets. We'll see if they can do something with this recipe.
Something had to happen during either the break, because now the Hornets have their momentum they need. They got 2 stops now on Moorpark, and there is 9 minutes, of course, left, and now they have advantage with the ball.
Lunsberg at quarterback. Straight dive play straight up the middle. I like this play. Pick up 5 yards, make the rush stops. Nice carry right there by O.J. Jones, I thought it was.
Mark, how often in the last 10 years have you said, all right, in order for Fullerton to
Well,
start their season, they have got to be able to rely on Brian Crook's defense to get stops. So just like Joey mentioned a couple moments ago, 2 straight stops for Fullerton. That's where their momentum has to start, is on the defensive side.
That was Hunter. They carried it. Carries it again. There he goes. Stumbles his way through. Right off tackle. So 2 straight drive plays. Dylan Spencer looking good out there at right tackle right now. Opened up a hole on that one for the Hornets. So we've got a player down. There's official timeout on the field with 8:58 to go in this first half. It's Moorpark 14, Fullerton 6 here on Hornet Radio. Ryan, Joey, myself, and you look at this whole thing, Joey, you brought it up just then. The defense finally does something that they haven't done all day. Stop a very fast, hot offense.
Agree. And their defense for Hornets, I'm guessing maybe they needed a small break or needed a pep talk, because as you see, every time they go into their area, the Coach Phillips, or one of the coaches, Coach Cooks, either comes to them and explains they have to get their head in the game. I have been noticing that.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see if they can continue to do that. With 8:58 to go here in the first half, the defense has stepped up. You heard my partner just say that. It's the first time you've seen it in this game. And now we'll see if the offense can do their part to bring it out on this. JT Weir goes to the far side of the field with Lester Logan. He goes with him. 1st and 5. Down the middle, by himself, touchdown Hornets! JT Weir on the money. Called that one a little early here on Hornet Radio. Corey Naylor just smiled at me. Ball was in the air hanging, and it was a touchdown. Perfect pass, perfect route. JT was open for about a block and a half, Mr. Osborne, and the ball finally got to him.
It's all about that first step coming out of the cut. So initially he gets up to the 20-yard line and takes one quick step off to his right. He's going towards the right side pylon. But here's where it's important, Mark. Again, catching with your hands. He doesn't allow that to come into his chest. He brings up his hands to the apex and is able to haul it in.
Ball is spotted, kick is up, and kick is good. With 8:42 to go, well, Joey, you brought a little magic there. You said the offense had to do something, and they did their part. Beautiful pass.
Agreed.
Again, second quarterback that just stands in the pocket.
Agree. I think the trick is you have to have a player that always stands in the pocket, because if you have a player that keeps running back and forth, you don't know where your head's going to be pressure. You're going to have your players mixed up. But with this quarterback today, we have advantage of scoring.
So with 8:42 to go, it's the Hornets down by 1. It's Moorpark 14. And we're going to
And that's the thing, Mark is so flabbergasted by the last play that Fullerton College ends up getting a beautiful pass off to the right-hand side. So there is a penalty that brings the ball a little closer.
They're going to go for 2.
They are indeed. Which has been kind of protocol with Garrett Campbell in the last years that we've seen him, is that if there is a penalty that brings it down towards the 1-yard line, Fullerton usually goes for it.
And Ryan, the thing would be interesting, I know we haven't gone to a lot of practice. I don't know if there's a different offensive line, because it looks like it was a little bigger coming onto the field. And 4 gets hit coming across, so they tried a trick play that did not work. So now it's going to be, and all of a sudden I look up at the board, it's Hornet 16. Well, you know what? Trick plays, if they're not successful, are for more points. I like the way we play this game. So,
It's
with-
like this, Mark. It's like this. If I go and I get the pizza that's directly across from Moorpark and I go for one slice, but then it multiplies into 3, it's not my fault. That's just how the score works.
you know what? You said pizza, and the mad scientist came on the air with us. The other voice for Hornet soccer, and of course that's going to be Joe and Ryan. When I can, I'll be out there to visit you too. Last couple seasons, Guy, great soccer teams, but they have come up on the short side of sugar and haven't been able to win the whole thing.
See, what I like there from Mark is that he brings alliteration, just like when we used to have alliteration for football Fridays, but now it's the weekday kickoff. Brings that alliteration, but you look at Fullerton College soccer, Joe, we've seen it the last 2 years. A couple years ago, they should have won the state title. That's how good that team was. Last year, they had a good season, a very good season, but honestly, from the outset of the season, they had a better year than we thought they would. They win the first round of the playoffs. They go over to Long Beach, unfortunately lose very literally in the last minute, and they end up getting eliminated. But nonetheless, this is a team that has continually competed and been ranked in the top 10 nationally in the last 2 years.
Yeah, and like Mark was saying, you know, what was that? Something short on the sugar?
Short the sugar.
Short in the sugar. Hopefully this year they can cut the mustard. Listen, I just showed up. People were saying football, and I, you know, materialized.
That's a big sandwich.
It is a big sandwich, and you know what? As you look at the football down there, Joe, you can notice that it's not a golden ball.
It's also the wrong shape. What am I doing here?
You know what? I'm glad you showed up. I'm glad Ryan showed up.
It's too warm for this.
I'm not sure I can say anything for the rest of the group, but I'm glad for them. As you can tell, we always have a great time here on Hornet Radio.
Hey, but the scoreboard's fixed.
It is. I like that. A magical touch from the man by my left.
Got a good assist.
See? That's what they're looking for, a little pooch kick. Signaled for a fair catch,
Can you say
so
that on
you
the
get a little pooch. It's signaled for a fair catch out there and made right there. I didn't say like a French poodle. I just said a little pooch, which means a short kick. Soccer people. And, of course, Caleb is looking for his person he's going to interview on the sideline.
Yeah, Caleb earlier went over to talk to Dustin Sober, who we are going to have here at the half. Dustin, of course, longtime Fullerton College player and coach as well. We got to talk to him through the years of the national championship wins for this Fullerton College program.
I've got a whole box of donuts so they can have a great time.
Well, we're celebrating. It's the 3rd annual Hal Sherbeck Classic, right?
That's right. First down and 10 for Moorpark. They have looked good. Hey, the sea opens. He takes off to the coastline, makes it safely. And this is what I love about this kid, Ron. I'm going to go back to you because you've just talked about how he doesn't get flustered.
No, not at all. Very poised, especially coming out of the pocket. Like you saw there, Mark, he saw a lane open, and he didn't try to force anything down the middle 15 yards up. Instead, he said, okay, we can only gain 4 yards out of this. I will do exactly that. Steps in, gets himself to the sideline, and gets the yardage.
Nice little gain of 3 for him. 2nd down and 7. Goes back. Here comes the pressure. Throws it across the middle. And I tell you what, if you should have caught the ball, catch the football, well, you should catch the football. And that was Ben Trey Worthy who let it get on his body, and it bounced off his shoulder pads. Incomplete pass. Big 3rd down. Hornets need to make a stop again. Down by 2. Moorpark looks over. They've been dominant. They don't want to walk away from this first half, only being up by 2 or possibly trailing. When you look, it would almost look like they're starting this season the way last season was handed to them. Out in the flat and never seen, should have been thrown Ryan Osborne. Carson Green, the running back, was all alone on a wheel route. And that's the first time the quarterback has not found somebody. Joe, you look at somebody like that. He's been magical to find the open person. Didn't do it that time.
Yeah, I mean, I think, could this be an example of being too calm and collected in the pocket? You just having the faith that your offense is going to get where they need to be, and you're just waiting, 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 and nobody answers the door.
I think, to your credit, Joe, exactly what you're talking about. There is a little bit of an overthink there. Shane Herrera is able to get into the backfield because the ball is held on to an extra second.
Ball almost gets blocked, and it's going to be, it was, Ryan says, it was just tipped. Caught right at the 45. JT Weir was back there and catches that one and brings it in. So they're going to mark it right at the 46-yard line. 7:21 to go. The Hornets are starting to find a little buzz on the field. We'll see if that continues for them down the field all the way. Speaking of that, the only one that wore the T-shirt today was Joe. Joe's got his Sherbeck Football Classic T-shirt on with the beautiful Buzzy right there. See? So you are a Hornet through and through.
Audio-friendly broadcast.
There we go. First down for the Hornets.
If you're listening, simply watch.
Run the option right down the middle. Takes off to the right. Shorthurst on a quarterback option. So, Mr. Osborne, you offer it to your running back. When the C starts to part, you take it back and you take off yourself.
Shearholtz is 6'3", 225, and he is not afraid to go into a couple guys. He goes through that right lane and still is able to find the linebacker and run him over.
First down, going down the corner, tries to go over there. Little pushing and shoving, Logan Lester and the defender. Logan couldn't pull it in.
Logan was very close to getting an offensive pass interference because not only did he push, but he grabs the collar of the guy who's on him and yanks him backwards.
I was just trying to get his balance. I saw him. He was tripping. He was going down.
But you look at Fullerton, Mark, those last two throws towards the end zone have been on the money. Shearholtz there is able to deliver that in stride.
Weir and Logan go out to the left, run it straight up the middle. Just a simple dive play up the middle to keep them legit. And Isabel squeaks out a couple for that. Give me a gain of 2 on the play. Third down and 7. Throw it in the flat. You need a block. Logan Lester gets a block. Tippy toe down. Did he stay in? He just gets out. That's why we offer dance classes here at Fullerton College, as the dance program is part of our athletic department.
Once again, that was JT Weir on the catch for that far side, Mark. You mentioned Logan Lester sealing the block and sealing that outside. He gets to the 20-yard line and then is able to seal that. However, the officials, Mark, are marking him just about 3 yards short. So they're saying his left foot went out of bounds prior to gaining those last couple yards.
So the coaching staff for the Hornets being bold. 4th down and 3. Inside the 20. Quick, backs it, throws it in the flat. It's got to make the turn. Oh, a spin and a catch. And then the ball came out, but give it to the running back is Isbell. They said that they got it on the sideline, and he fumbles it, and Moorpark gets the ball. I thought.
So even if it is a fumble, considering that there were 2 guys on the ground who initially are fighting for it, they're saying that the ball was not possessed by the 2 guys who were on the ground. So it is a fumble going to Moorpark. So again, it's all about possession. The ball hits the floor initially. It's wrestled out at the 20, or I'm sorry, the 17-yard line. But what happens is with 3 different guys grasping at it, no one actually picks it up or has possession. Since they did not clearly establish possession, the moment that it got knocked away to this near sideline, it was picked up by a Moorpark defender, and that's where the possession is established. Ball goes to Moorpark.
Second turnover for your Hornets in this first half. Pressure comes up, going deep, down the sideline, pushing and shoving, uncatchable pass, and that's why you do not throw a flag. A lot of fighting going on down there, but you don't throw it. Nobody's going to catch it anyway, and I love the referee that didn't pull the hanky and say, hey, incomplete. So they quickly come back, line of scrimmage, schedule, look at each other, said, hey, you go this way, I'll go that way. 2nd down and 10 for Moorpark. The Raiders look it again. Throws it over the flat, make the tackle. Gain of maybe 1 on the play. So minimal, to say the least. And now a big 3rd down for the Raiders. And the defense now has found something, Joe. They didn't look too good in that first quarter. Officials are going to put it on the hash mark. Take it right there at the 21. So, yeah, they do just across. So it's going to be a long 3rd down. From where the ball is and where the down marker is, looks like a difference. A little deceiving. Big 3rd down. Here they come. Pressure up the middle. Once again, shove, hook, push, nothing. The official wants a flag. Ron Osborne, I got to ask you, you're standing over there with a big grin on your face on that play. Come on, man. Give me the truth, because I tell you what, if I'm Jude Hooks, I'm not happy going down the line for Moorpark.
No, but see, here's why the official doesn't flow it, or doesn't throw the flag. He has his hand on his hip ready to throw it, but both guys are battling and both guys have infractions. In that case, a lot of the times you'll see an official let them battle it out. And if they've already committed something on both sides, he's just going to say it equals out in the end.
Okay, so no flag, and the Hornet defense comes up big. Big pressure again. Almost gets to him. Ball gets kicked out of bounds, and we'll see where they're going to mark it at.
Should be about the 44. Make it the 45. They like to do even numbers. It's just like the volume on your TV. Has to be even numbers or on the 5s.
You know what? If everybody in the radio program realized that when they were in one of your studios, that if I just set it at 45, I'll be fine instead of going up to 90, because I can't hear myself. What's the deal? 1st down and 10. Don't forget, if we're talking about radio, if we're talking about multimedia, well, the 2 guys next to me run a fantastic radio multimedia department here at Fullerton College. So make sure, if you're interested in doing what we're doing, check and see what programs there are here at Fullerton College. 1st down and 10. Hornets had a chance. See if they can again. Go back. Well, you look at it. There's the interference, Ryan Osborne, as Logan Lester tries a crossing pattern and gets slowed up at the caution line.
They're going to call it pass interference, but I think it was more of a hold. As he's trying to break out of his route and cut towards the middle, he gets tugged on the opposite shoulder, and that's what forces him to not be on his route that he wants to continue towards.
So we got 2, let's see what we got here.
2 handkerchiefs.
Yep. Holding against the Hornets. Pass interference against the Raiders, so they offset. We're just going to play things all over again.
It's like that play 2 plays ago. We're just going to call it even.
That's it. 1st down and 10. Hornets, 4:41 to go, has an opportunity, which they just did, to take the lead. Run it straight up the middle. Nice little dive play right there to Fred Hunter. Hunter. So Fred Hunter takes it up. They're going to mark Fred down right at the 42. 2nd down. Long 6. Quarterback option. Straight up the middle. 1st down for the Hornets. And again, you talked about it, Ryan. Jack just is fearless.
A name that was mentioned in a similar fashion was Ladarius Skelton. You see a lot of him in Shearholtz here because he's not afraid to just take off and go right into contact. One thing that you'll see about running quarterbacks, Mark, especially at this level, they like to bounce it off the tackles to the outside. He's not afraid to go right up the A or B gaps.
1st down and 10 at the 30. Jack rolls out, steps out. Nobody's going to tackle me. Throw a block. Looks at his receiver or running back, and in this case, Fred Hunter turns around and looks at him and says, I'll throw a block for you. We have a flag back at the 26-yard line,
If this
36-yard line.
if this goes against Fullerton, it's going to go against Keeney as he gets into it with a defensive lineman for Moorpark after the play.
So we'll see what the flag is. 3:41 to go. It's against the Hornets, another penalty.
Yeah, Mark, it feels like quarterback's ready for Halloween a little early. He's got his running back costume on today.
Pumpkin spice latte is in the air.
Hey,
And Halloween is mentioned.
the unofficial end of the summer is this weekend, Labor Day.
Tell the weather that.
I said unofficial.
Fair enough.
Die play once again. Fred takes it again. It's interesting when I visited with the coaches, we talked about the running attack. They talked about Vakapuna last year and how much they loved Vakapuna as a running back. Some said, we'll see. I got a few coaches said, I don't know if running is good. Our running attack is going to be as good as last year. So far, it doesn't look bad. Turn there. Catch, drop, hit, tackle, incomplete pass. So the throw was there. Michael Hubbard just could not pull it in as Hubbard drops it. 13, Michael Hubbard. Third down, 21 for the Hornets. 2:58 to go. So a little slowdown here as we come towards the end of the first half. Tight game, good game, fun game today. Throw it out in the flat. Fred looks to get a little coverage. He's got people in front of him. Fred gets across the 30 on a nice delay on the outside for a running back. Linemen get down the field, throw a few blocks. It gets them to the 30. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 9 for the Hornets. We're going to go for it. Too far for a field goal, too short for a punt. 4th and 9 for the Hornets. Look over the sideline. They've tried this so far. 2:22 to go. A little motion, no flag. Over there, goes down. Ball short, receiver could not pull it out. Moorpark defense covers up. He was open. He just did not get it far enough to JT Weir. Weir went down to catch it, and Joe, it was just a short pass.
Yeah, and we had one of the students on the air earlier. I think it was Joey, right? And he mentioned momentum. We've got 2 minutes and change left in the game. Fullerton's down by 2, scores 14-12, facing Moorpark. And going into the half, momentum could swing either way. If Moorpark creates a scoring opportunity here, it could have swung Fullerton's way if they could have converted on that and found themselves in the end zone.
And if you're a fan of the Hornets and you're actually here at this game, if you want to see what a football player looks like, no, it's not Caleb. It's the man that's following it, Dustin Sober. He looks like a football player. Dustin coming in, cross the middle, can't catch it, dropped right there. First time a receiver, Ryan, couldn't pull it in for Moorpark. Joe, first time a receiver could not pull it in for Moorpark as Dustin Sober is in the house. There he is, one of the greats of Fullerton College and a good friend of ours. Dustin's going to get on the air for a second.
In college, you're always going to get everybody's best game.
You know, and you've played, you know, we brought up Hal Sherbeck, Tim Burns, Gene. You know, you had the pleasure to wear the blue and gold of Fullerton. And everybody says once a Hornet, always a Hornet. I mean, what is the pride thing about playing here at Fullerton College?
You know, it's a championship expectation here. You know, we expect to go out there and play the Hornet way, and we've had success doing that over the years.
Yeah, and of course, you've been with championship teams here at Fullerton College. So do I say that it's a bad thing to say that Hornet fans should expect the Hornets to be winners?
Definitely. You know, that's what we come out to do. You know, that's why we take the field is to win. So that's definitely the expectation, and that's what we work for, and that's what the fans should expect.
And you should have been happy today because you were a former special teams
Oh, yeah.
coach. We got a special team first touchdown. You
Yeah.
should have stood up and finally said, you know what? That's what it's always been,
Oh, yeah.
especially when I was a coach here.
Yeah, I was fired up. I was right down there on the field by the corner, right where they ran it in. So, yeah, it was a good way to start the game. Now we just need to get that momentum back on our side and put a few more points on the scoreboard.
When you look at the two quarterbacks that you've seen that have come with us this year, I mean, we have two quarterbacks, both different games, but very good at what they play at the
Yeah.
position.
Definitely. I think they're both good ball players. You know, they've been putting balls in some good places today. You know, we had a turnover and a fumble, but, you know, they've been putting balls in hands, and we've dropped a couple. But, you know, we've got first game jitters. Hopefully they get in the groove here in this second half and ease back into it and start putting some points on the board.
Well, I'm not going to ask you much more about the past because the young man next to me,
All right.
I don't want to steal all of your questions and then
all of 'em.
have Caleb staring at you and saying, you know. And, of course, this year now you've been a coach, though, but this year you decided to take a little break away from the coaching aspect of the game.
Yeah, so they decided to go in the mornings, and I couldn't swing that with my work schedule over at the high school. So, no, I'm just a spectator now, just a supporter, you know.
Do you flinch during games? I know when I watch games, I go, oh, do you do that?
A little bit, you know, especially down there on the sideline. You gotta you get that itch. I gotta restrain myself on third downs for not trying to get the punt team or the punt block team ready.
So you're going to hear Dustin talk more about his years at Fullerton College as a player and his years at Fullerton College as a coach, and more about his feelings about Hal Sherbeck, Gene Murphy, and, of course, the man that could have been one of the greats if he stuck around long enough, Tim Burns, because he had 2 national championships along the way. You'll get all that at halftime when Caleb gets an opportunity. As the Hornets come back on offense, well, we decided to talk Moorpark into a D sleep so we could get the ball back, and we did exactly that. Hornets playing a little hurry-up offense, getting out there. See if they can get things motion as Chris Lundsberg is at quarterback. Chris has looked good while he's been out there so far today. So up the middle, first down, move the ball. Nice little pass. Once again, move it up. Isabel, like him as a running back, does well. Go off again. Off the left side this time. A lot of speed. Quentin's got it when you look at him, what he can do. Second down and 4. So you were off the air for a little, like night and day watching this first half.
Yeah, I'm starting to think if they get stuffed here, I'm starting to think maybe I'm a bad luck charm being on the air, but let's hope not. And they've been doing really well, and especially with Lundsberg in at quarterback and having them switching out, both being fresh and ready. And something I never quite understood with the 2 quarterback system is once teams get film on it and they know what each quarterback is good at, they'll be able to like game plan, see like, hey, the pocket passer's in, let's drop back a bit, or the runner's in, be more aggressive, stuff like that. So I never quite understood how it was super successful, but it seems to be working so far.
With 1:13 to go, the Hornets are down by 2. As we look at that question, and, you know, Caleb, I'm going to look at you and explain that if the game plan is, and my plays are called, if all of a sudden Dustin comes in for me and it's a running play, they're going to tell him, you know the play, you got to run with the football. I come back in and they look at me and say, Mark, it's a running play. I don't do that as a quarterback. And if you play the game, you've got to play all aspects. I'm not going to create the game just so you're good at this and that's all you're going to do unless you're a specialist on defense or a specialist on offense. But if you're general, like a quarterback is, you got to play the entire game, because what happens? One of these guys get hurt, we throw that game plan away?
No, of course not. I'm just saying, like, tendencies when watching film, and potentially countering what each one is better at. Obviously, they're both good at both, but I didn't see the.
And that's why I'll change things. As he steps up, flings it down the middle, has him open, catch, touchdown, JT Weir. JT turns around, faces the ball, looks it into his gut, and says to the defensive back, I'm just going to pull it in. Nice play, Caleb.
Yeah, honestly, what a catch. I mean, he was fighting off the defense who was falling, pushing his momentum into his legs, keeping his balance, and fighting through both hands of the defender that was right there at the ball just to bring it in right where it needed to be.
So with 1:04 to go, Moorpark now gives up the lead to your Fullerton College Hornets. Kick is up. Kick is good with a little extra action at the end. Again, the referee has no problem with just separating people. That's okay, no flag. It's almost at the end of the half. Let's let it go and move it on. See, I was going to ask Coach something again, but I'll save that and let you ask him all the thing as he stands there. See, I'll do this to him too because, I don't know if he's eating all day long. Offer him one of Corey Nalen's donuts, and that's it. It didn't really sound.
Corey's, I'll have two then.
So with 1:04 to go, will your Hornets finally take the lead? And it has been production, Caleb, by both quarterbacks on the field today. They've both shown they can throw the football. They both show they can run the football. Garrett Campbell's game plan is working if you're a Hornet fan.
Right. I mean, as you mentioned, both quarterbacks doing it extremely well, finding open receivers, getting the matchups they want. For example, Jude Hooks is a look I've seen a lot from Moorpark is trips right, Jude Hooks all alone on the left. And Fullerton isn't doubling him, and he's been kind of making him pay for it with a couple of big catches.
Well, the Hornets finally take the lead. We'll see if the momentum goes into the second half, which is what they'd like to do. But before we do that, we've got a kickoff. With 1:04 to go, Moorpark will get one more opportunity to try and take the lead back here on Hornet Radio. High floater. Taken at the 11. Cuts to the outside. Stays on his feet. Gets finally pulled down there, and that was Tristan Johnson. Pulled down just across the 20, right about at the 21-yard line. 56 seconds to go.
A little bit of extracurricular shoving at the end on the sideline as well from both teams. Refs letting them play, as you mentioned, and it's getting a little chippy, I might say. So we'll see if that continues in the second half.
It's been chippy all day. I mean, there's been a lot of yakety-yak against both these teams. Jude Hooks comes to the near side of the field, so we'll see if they'll try and light him up again. As the wide receiver, Karsh, goes back, steps, feels pressure, going deep. Karsh looking for Jude. Ball goes up, gets knocked away. So the defense this time. Jude was open for a second.
Just a second, but it looks like there will be a probably roughing the passer. The QB got hit about 2 seconds, maybe even 1 second after he let go of the ball, but the defensive lineman was diving. He couldn't really stop his momentum, so I don't know if I exactly agree with that call.
So we'll see. Jeremiah Green made the defensive play for the Hornets out there. Waiting to see what the flag is. Holding against Moorpark.
I saw the flag go right where the quarterback got hit. That is my mistake.
So they're going to move them back to the 12-yard line. 12-13 is where it's at. 48 seconds to go. First down. Run on the right side, taken. Quick tackle made on the play. Carson Green, running back, gets taken down. Dustin's going to get ready for his conversation with Caleb. Puts a Tic Tac in, so he's, you know, smelling good when he talks to him.
I did just eat one of the donuts, so I don't know if my breath is going to be as fresh, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, if he offers you one of his Tic Tacs, I'm just going to tell you, don't take it. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get out of the way. Becky, pot me down. I'm going to let Caleb finish up. The rest of this, I'll let Dustin and you get ready. Dustin, nice to see you again.
Hey,
Take
a
care of
pleasure.
yourself, my friend.
All right,
Always
see you
love
around.
being with you. And I'll be back for the second half of this game.
Well, we have about 38 seconds left in the first half after a Fullerton timeout. And Dustin, what have you seen on the game so far, being on the sideline and a former coach and player here, that maybe we won't see up here in the broadcast booth?
You know, obviously there's been a lot of penalties in the game, so we made some mental mistakes, but also didn't capitalize on a couple opportunities. You know, we had a holding call, took away a touchdown down here in the first quarter, ball caught out of bounds, a couple drop passes, you know, but a fumble. But I think they're going to be okay. You know, this ain't Fullerton College has been in adverse situations before. They know how to battle back. And hopefully we could chalk it up to first game jitters.
Score is 19-14, 38 seconds left as Moorpark gets ready. Ball is on about the 14. They got to make a big chunk play or run out the clock.
So I'm back. I was told by management I can't get out of the way till halftime. We're looking at the clock.
4-1, 41 seconds.
Set time 00:41.
Shit changes when a coach pokes in the window, right?
Phil, you just need a red phone from that office to where you sit.
So we have timeout on the field with 41 seconds to go. Hornets up by a few here in the second half. Offense found its footing. Defense made big stops, and that's where it looks like this half may end. Quarterback goes down and slides. He should just let the clock continue to run. Timeout called against Fullerton. They want the ball back. So the last timeout for the Hornets with 34.7 seconds, unless we see a face poke on the glass again. That could happen, though.
Could.
Yeah.
It's happened once.
Yeah.
Who's to say it couldn't happen again?
See, aren't you happy? Management came after me, not you. You know, I walked outside, and they looked at me, and they said, why are you taking an early break? I told them, got told, you need to go back inside and put the headsets back on. Okay, all right.
I mean, that's what happens when you're the voice.
I tell you, you know, I'm going to have to look at my contract next time. At my age, I should get special dispensation.
Such as leaving the broadcast booth and a whole extra 40 seconds of game time
That's
early.
right. That means I can walk down, get a hot dog, make it back right in the middle of your interview so I can hear what you two are talking about. You know? Poor young man has come up here. He's in cold. He's not used to this cold air. He's a football player.
Yeah, this air conditioning ain't bad, I'll tell you
You
that.
know? He likes it where it's hot, where he's sweating. Walk it off to the left side, flip it out to the right side. Missed one tackle, missed two tackles, struggle to keep going. Finally taken down at the 20, and we're going to get a flag right on the line.
Well, the flag was thrown a bit further back. One of the players accidentally kicked it on their way into the pile. So not exactly sure where it was supposed to be thrown at. It just ended up in the pile.
So that automatically stops the clock. And it'll probably be against Moorpark. We'll see if the Hornets want to accept it or not.
So the timeouts and penalties are keeping you hostage up here, Mark.
So it's against Moorpark. They will decline it. That would bring up 4th down, and we'll wind the clock. And with 19 seconds to go, they do not have to punt the football, and that should bring us almost to the end of this half. Moorpark starts wandering. Fullerton stands there and waits. Everybody is congregating. So as we come to the end of the first half, it's the Hornets 19, Moorpark 14 here on Sportsnet. Oh, Hornet Radio. Glad nobody else is in here.
Yeah.
Hornet Radio. And I'm going to now officially take my break. You can pop me down. Dustin, thanks for coming up
All
here.
right, thanks for having me.
Now, Dustin, as we both mentioned before, you are a former player and coach here, seeing numerous conference championships, 1 in your playing career and 3 in your coaching career. And let's kind of start at the beginning. What drew you to Fullerton in the first place?
Well, I grew up in Fullerton, and so didn't get picked up out of high school, and Fullerton's always been a great program, so came to check it out. The legendary coach, Al Fiola, recruited me over from Fullerton High School. And once I got here, you know, I mean, it's a great place, rich in tradition, and just stuck with it.
Obviously, today is the 3rd annual Hal Sherbeck Classic. The Hornets are 1-1 in the Hal Sherbeck Classic, and we did a whole episode of the Coaches Show on Hal Sherbeck. What are your thoughts on the game, field, and the statue of him?
Oh, you know, the game, it's great having a game here on a home field. This is something that we've wished for many years. I remember when I came in on my recruiting trip, they showed me plans for the stadium and said might be able to play in that stadium my sophomore year, but never came to fruition. So it was long overdue, but it's much deserved, and it's great to give tribute to such a legendary guy like Hal Sherbeck as well.
Fullerton, obviously, not a great year last year, only 5-5, which is weird to say, but because I know a lot of teams would kill for a 500 record.
Yeah.
But Fullerton being rich in history and success, down year for them.
Definitely.
When you first came in as a freshman, you guys were, I believe, 3-7, and then a huge turnaround to 8-2 in your sophomore year, and you were a huge part of that, going almost doubling your amount of tackles from 66 to 122. What would you say to these Fullerton College players if you were able to give them some advice on how to turn around the team after a down year?
You know, I mean, everything happens in waves. Unfortunately, you don't want to have a down year. You rather stay on a linear course, but that's not how the game's played nowadays. So, you know, you gotta learn from the mistakes, learn from the losses, so you are better prepared to take opportunities or take advantage of opportunities to win and win championships.
Obviously, I mentioned your 4 conference titles here throughout your playing and coaching career. Has there been any kind of specific trait or characteristic from those teams that you've seen that leads to that success?
Yeah, you know, team cohesion, when the guys, and that's kind of hard to establish at a junior college level because you only have guys, 1, 2, 3 years for the most part. So establishing team cohesion, the teams that actually like together and hang out with each other off the field, those are the teams that tend to win. And, you know, we kind of have a blue-collar mentality here at Fullerton College. You know, we like to make sure that win or lose, the opponent knows that they played us. You know, we play physical brand of ball. We've always been good on special teams, always had stout defenses, and we got an offense that could put points on the board.
You mentioned the stout special teams and defense. You were the special teams coach here. What kind of programs did you have for them where they were able to be as good as they are, and even at the start today, blocking a punt for a touchdown?
Well, something that we've always prided ourselves on here is if you think you're going to be a starter on offense and defense, you better earn a starting spot on special teams first.
Right.
We make that a priority. We practice it right out of the gates. First thing we do in practice to show the players. This isn't games are won and lost on special teams at this level. So we want to make sure that they know the importance of it and that we're taking it as an important factor. And we want to put guys in good positions to go make big plays. I mean, block kick, return to the house. Those are huge plays that could shift the tide of a game.
After leaving Fullerton as a player, you went to, I believe it was New Mexico State.
That is correct.
And what advice would you have for a player such as, like, let's say Ethan Charpentier, who was an All-American last year, potentially on that track again this year, and also plays your same position? What's your advice for someone like him moving on to the next level?
Keep doing what he's doing. I mean, I got the pleasure to coach Ethan last year. He's a great kid, great football player, nose for the ball. So, I mean, he doesn't need to make too many changes. He's on that path. But generally speaking, it comes down to work ethic. The biggest thing, going from high school where many of these guys in high school, they were the man at their high school. They were all league. They were all state, whatever. Then you go to the junior college where there's a lot more of those guys, too.
Yeah.
You're a dime a dozen. Then you go onto the D1 level. Everybody was the guy at their high school. Everybody was all-state, all-American. So the things that's going to separate guys at that level is work ethic and attention to detail, and Ethan has both of those.
You mentioned being under legendary head coach Alfiola, and you were also here on the coaching staff under both Tim Burns and Garrett Campbell as well. What kind of coaching do you think those guys all have in common to where they're all successful?
All those guys have had ties to Hornet football even before they became coaches here. So the thing the characteristic that I think that they have that has led to success is they know the Hornet way. They know the expectation. They know that we're going to come out and play our brand of football. So even when we transitioned coach, there wasn't much drop off or change. We might call play a different name or whatnot, and minor differences. But at the core, it was still Hornet football.
This Hornet team has been pretty successful, obviously, and they were more of a running team in the last year, which I mentioned earlier, having 129 rushing yards to 147, I believe, passing yards per game. What kind of difference goes into that and advancing both in, let's say, off-season?
Well, I mean, as a coach, you really kind of got to play the cards you're dealt. If you got a stable of running backs and a big O-line, then you're going to run the ball more. If you got guys that could get open down the field and quarterbacks that could get them the ball in space, then you're going to pass more, And again, that's where it is with junior college football. You don't have 5-year redshirt seniors out here, You got young guys. You get a new group of guys every year, so you got to kind of assess the players and make sure that you are playing to their strengths and putting them in a position to be successful. 'Cause their success leads to team success. So,
speaking of, like you mentioned, new group of guys every year because it's community college level. Fullerton lost 20 players last year, 13 of them on defense, and I'm sure a lot of them on special teams as well. How do you, as a coach, advance the special teams or defense when you lose that kind of guys?
Well, we've always had a pretty structured system for, special teams and whatnot. Our base is our base, and when we lose guys, we plug a new guy in, and we teach everybody the base concepts so we can plug them in, and then we just go week to week, and whatever the opponent's doing, we're going to try to dial something up for them and catch them by surprise. But, with replacing players, it just comes down to recruiting, We try to hit our local areas hard and get our names out there and get guys in the door. And then we've had success in the past. So guys that don't have junior college opportunities in their state, they're looking to come out to California. And when they're going down the list, of course, they're gonna pick those schools that have had success: Fullerton, Riverside, Mount Sac.
Right.
So, yeah, we just get guys in the door. That's part of the game here. Get them in, get them out.
After Fullerton has had the amount of sustained success that they've had, and you being kind of a pretty big part of that in recent years, what do you look for future teams to be able to continue that success?
Again, I like I mentioned earlier, team cohesion's a big thing at this level because it's hard to do, but it has a lot of benefits to it. When you get the guys that come together, they play harder for each other. They hold each other accountable. And then obviously the physical attributes. And of course, you want big, strong, fast guys too.
Right.
But, and guys that have a football sense, and guys that want to be part of something bigger than themselves. Junior college football is kind of a selfish stage in football. Everybody's got to get their playing time. Everybody's got to get their film. Everybody wants to get an opportunity to get a scholarship, and you got to kind of have that selfish sense, but you ain't going to get those individual goals achieved if you don't play for the team. Put the team goals ahead. When you achieve team goals, then individual goals get achieved as well too. So that's just something we've always tried to preach to the guys.
How, as a coach, do you help your players maintain that balance of working hard individually and also trying to make sure the team succeeds?
All the guys that are out here, many of us played junior college football too. We've been in their shoes. We know what it takes, and sometimes it's hard for a young guy to listen to their parents, their coaches, or whatnot. But we're speaking from experience, And so when we're telling these kids things, we know that's the pathway to success because it worked for us and worked for other kids that we've coached. So kids tend to buy into it.
Heading back to kind of this game specifically, Fullerton got the lead off the block punt, didn't have it for a while, and finally went into the half with momentum. What are you looking for out of the second half to be able to maintain that lead?
I think they just need to have a quick start. I think we started off a little slow. We did get the blocked punt, but then defense was out on the field for 2 series back to back. Then we started marching the ball down and couldn't put it in the end zone. So we just need to start fast when we come out.
Going back to the quarterback, Jack Shearholes, he's big, strong guy, very fast. As a coach, I know you're more of a special teams guy, but how do you tell a guy like that who's, as a quarterback, one of the most integral parts of the team, like, hey, maybe instead of trying to run people over, like, maybe slide once or twice in a while?
Well, I know Coach Campbell does not permit sliding. He wants his guys to finish runs. But, it's kind of tough if a guy has a natural ability to tell him not to rely on his natural ability. He's a big, strong kid. He could tote the rock, and if safety gets in his way, good luck for that guy. But I got to watch the 2 scrimmages prior to this game, and I thought that both quarterbacks were playing well. I actually talked to Jack. I told him to focus more on getting base hit completions. Young quarterbacks tend to, they're in camp, they're competing, they want to get the starting spot. They try to force some balls down the field. I just telling them, hey, man, you need to get base hits, and then when the opportunity for the home run ball comes, then take it. But move the chains, do your thing, rely on your legs, get completions, first downs. That's how you win football games.
The Fullerton special teams had a obviously the blocked punt, and they had a big return on the punt as well. What kind of thing leads to that, both as a coach and as a player?
Well, being on special teams here is a coveted position, and guys take pride in that. Of course, we always tend to have some good guys back there returning, but the things that make it happen are those guys up in front, that second string tight end or that third string tailback that's out there, and this is how they're contributing to the team, and they take a lot of pride in it. They're the ones out there making the blocks, making the creases so those guys back there can hit them.
Let's head back to you specifically. What's your kind of like favorite memory being a part of Hornet football, both as a coach and as a player?
Geez. Well, I mean, I guess as a player, it's the cliche thing. It's the guys. Of
Right.
course, the championships and stuff and winning is awesome, but it's even more special when there's a good group of guys. And I still run into a lot of the guys I played with, a lot of the guys that I coach. We got that saying around here: once a Hornet, always a Hornet, and it's true. Why our tradition's so rich is guys come back. Guys come back and coach. Guys come back and watch the games or here for special events and whatnot. So we got a good group of guys that have stayed in contact, that love coming out and supporting the program. As far as a coach, I mean, I guess it'll be cliche again, watching the guys have success,
Right.
as a team, and then as individuals. It's always great when a guy had a great season and he gets the scholarship offer that he was dreaming about, and his dreams come to fruition. I mean, and we get to do that each and every year. So that's definitely something special to help these guys go out and live out their dream.
You mentioned the saying, once a Hornet, always a Hornet. It's a huge thing here at Fullerton College. And the legacy that started all the way back with Hal Sherbeck, who, once again, this game is named after legendary coach, even better person, which I talked about in the coaches show. How do you maintain that legacy both as a coach and now as a fan?
Yeah, I mean, just doing things the Hornet way, just trying to remind these young guys, we're a blue-collar mentality. We're going to be pack your lunchbox and go to work. We're going to play physical ball. We're going to play fast, and, yeah, just continue to kind of teach the Hornet way.
What was the hardest thing, being the blue-collar kind of team that Fullerton is? What was the hardest thing that you kind of had to go through as a player?
Oh, well, I mean, while I was here, obviously, our freshman year, the season didn't end too well. We didn't have the best record out there, but so that was, I guess, definitely the toughest part. But then we turned it around, had a great season, had a great group of guys, won some games, won some championships. So, yeah.
We mentioned all of the successful coaches here at Fullerton: Al Fiola, Hal Sherbeck, Gene Murphy, Tim Burns. What kind of success was the I don't want to say pinnacle, but the most successful this program has been, in your opinion?
Well, I think we have to give a lot of notoriety to Coach Sherbeck and what he established. So I think that's definitely, the start of the tradition right there. And it's just great that the guys that have come after him have worked to carry on the tradition that he established.
All right, well, Dustin, thank you for joining us in the booth
My
today.
pleasure.
To get really in the end zone until the kind of end of the first half. And little bit of something interesting as I'm looking at this sheet here. The last two touchdowns for Fullerton were both a 33-yard completion from Chris Lunsberg to J.T. Weir. About 7.5. Aiden Karsh is 12 of 28 for 178 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also leads the team in rushing yards with 9 attempts for 14 yards. For Fullerton, Chris Lunsberg is 4 for 6, 84 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Jack Shearholes is 7 for 15, 40 yards and 1 interception. Rushing yards for Fullerton, the most attempts is Jack Shearholes with 47 yards. One-man show for both teams, but for Fullerton, it is J.T. Weir leading with 3 catches for 71 yards, an average of almost 24 yards a catch, and 2 touchdowns. While for Moorpark, it is Jude Hooks, who only has 2 catches, but they have gone for 72 yards and a touchdown. For kicking, the Moorpark's kicker, Valentino Lara, is 2 for 2 on extra points, and Fullerton's kicker, Nicholas Sandov, is 1 for 1 on extra points. Punting is also Sandov for Fullerton, 1 punt for 50 yards about. Mark, welcome back.
Thank you. Did you have a great conversation with Dustin Sober?
Yes, I did. It was very, very insightful for both today and his career, both as a player and a coach.
So, like I said to you, he's a legend here at Fullerton College. Of course, he's not throwing anything at us, so we're okay so far. So
I don't think I did that bad.
when you look at both these teams walking back on the field, the big thing you need to realize is that Fullerton started off slow. We know you're all fans. Don't forget, let me say something. This year we will be doing all the home games. We are not going on the road. So when you know they're going up to Ventura, we're not going to be there with the team. We will be here at Fullerton College this season. Myself, the 145 broadcast team will be here. Of course, I'm going to have Ryan Osborne occasionally chime in. I'm going to have Corey Nalen that may do that. Joe is going to be here every weekend, so Joe may put on headsets once in a while. So you're going to have a variety of voices. The old voice is always going to be there, but these other voices are going to add a little more flavor as we go along the way. So as we get ready for the second half, well, Fullerton's on the field. Moorpark, well, they're lingering on the sidelines. I don't know, maybe let's throw a flag. It's warm outside. Let's get rid of the lingerers on the sideline. As the Raiders have looked good in this game, Caleb, and that's the thing you've got to think about. Caleb, Joey, Corey, Ryan. It has been a game that Moorpark has been better than everybody advertised. We all heard, now, you know, look at what they've done through the years. Don't forget, we got 3 divisions this year. We've got National, Central, and Southern Division. Each division will get 2 teams for the playoffs. No wild card team this year. So we'll see as we get ready for the second half of Hornet football here on Hornet Radio. Let's see if Moorpark and Fullerton can bring the same amount of excitement that they brought in that first half. I want to thank Dustin Sober for being a guest at halftime. Big floater. At the 13. Taking it on the outside. There he's gone. 40, 30, 20, 10. Stepped out of bounds, or is it a touchdown?
He was out.
He was out of bounds.
He was out of
Or
just
they
about
called
the 5.
it. They called it a touchdown. They got him at the 10? Did they have him down there?
Yes, he's down at about the 10.
Okay.
Even if he wasn't out of bounds, it wouldn't have been a touchdown anyway. He knew he was out of bounds, spiked the ball about 5 yards out from the end zone. And I'm sure Dustin is happy to see that.
So Jameer almost takes it all the way back. Cartagena.
Yes.
So we bring him out once again. Cartagena. Corey Nayland's fixing that for me. Thank you, Corey. See, this is why I miss you on the air, baby. Yeah. First down and 10 for the Hornets. Thrown off there, incomplete pass. About an 85-yard return by him. About 85 yards. Started at the 13 down here. I'm going to say roughly. Third down for the Hornets. So we start this with a lot of excitement, and the Hornets are now trying to take control of the first game of the season. Last year, I talked to Hornet fans in the grandstand. I had to teach one of my young men next to me. Last year was a disappointment. That's what they said. A lot of time in the pocket. Pulled in, touchdown. Great patience in the pocket by Chris. I mean, you watched him in the pocket. Lunsberg, Ryan Osborne. Basically, you looked at him the entire time, and Chris Lunsberg just stood there, Caleb, and then finally threw the football for a touchdown.
You mentioned earlier about on the interception about him.
Now let's see what they do.
The kicker is 60, not 69.
And Luke Indorf pulled that one in for a touchdown. So, Indorf brings it in. So the Hornets, 25-14 here on Hornet Radio.
And as you had mentioned earlier about the quarterback staring down the receiver, that was the exact opposite of what just happened. He was facing completely to the right side at the last second, flipped his shoulders, found his man, and delivered a strike right to his chest.
So you look at what happened, and all of a sudden it's touchdown for the Hornets. And now Moorpark is looking uphill coming into this second half. They felt good. They dominated that first quarter. Since then, it's been the Hornets that have decided to turn up the heat just a little, and it's paid off for them. Damian Hernandez towards the near side of the field for the Raiders. And, of course, Urban's back there with him. Deep kick. Urban's going to take it at the goal line. So Angel Urban takes it at the goal line, gets all the way across. They're going to mark him down probably at the 22-yard line. So that's where he's going to get marked down at, and that's where the Moorpark Raiders will start.
That was a nice tackle there by Raisin Parker. Coming from the side and a little bit behind and just dropping his shoulder and sending him to the floor.
First down and 10 for Moorpark at the 22. See if they try to light it up again like they did in that first quarter. Run a little delay, no place to go. So they run a delay, and the defense steps up all together to make a play. You've got to like that Josh Griffin, defensive lineman, was the first one there when he makes the tackle. So the defense from Fullerton looks good. Big Josh just steps in there and muscles his way in. Second down and 10. Aiden Karsh looks at quarterback, looks things over, runs the first play, may change things up. Fullerton backs back out on defense. Aiden goes back, gets hit across the middle. There's nobody to go to. His defense is just there. Ben Trey Worthy can't get to the ball.
That was Tommy Inouye with the pressure on the QB, giving him not nearly enough time to set his feet, and the ball was dropped into the floor as he was hit.
Big third down for Moorpark. So they weren't stuttering the first part of this game. They look solid. They look good. And all of a sudden now the wheels are getting a little wobbly on their car as they're trying to make it back uphill. Jude Hooks comes over. Damian Hernandez next to him. They go to the opposite side. Throw it right there. First catch, first touch. Ben Trey Worthy catches it, goes down quickly.
That was Nehemiah Norwood with this tackle, captain for this Hornets team. Great job wrapping him up, getting him to the ground.
So JT Weir will come back in to take the punt. JT's going to stand right at the 42-yard line. And now you can feel the solid feeling. JT walks up. They're going to go after the punter, it looks like. JT on the corner. High snap. They're up. They just miss again, blocking that away. It goes off the side of the foot and takes a roll for Moorpark. It's going to backtrack its way out at the 48. With 12:21 to go, it's the Hornets now up over Moorpark and slowly driving away.
On that attempt, you mentioned JT Weir coming up, trying to add that extra rusher to block the punt. Based on what we've seen, the punter doesn't have an amazing leg, so most of the time it's been a fair catch out of Weir when he's back there. So you're trying to get that extra rusher for the block, knowing they wouldn't lose too much field position based off the bounce.
Hornets come back out. Chris Lunsberg at quarterback. Fred Hunter at running back. Fred's done the heavy carrying so far of the day. Lunsberg goes back, stands, looks, throws in the flat, and overthrows everybody. Nice little throwaway to JT Weir. He was going to get dropped for a loss anyway.
That was Devon Robinson again. We mentioned his name multiple times in the first half. He had 2 sacks and a pass breakup. So free.
First down and 10. Fred said, well, you know what? I'm doing so well. Give it to me again. Picks up another 7 on that one.
That was Tegan Nearin again. Back-to-back tackles for the linebacker.
So Fred now trying to, maybe force his will on the defense of Moorpark. Second down and 3. Bobbled. Quick throw, goes over to JT. JT gets it, gets a first down. So you look at JT Weir, great hands for JT when he's catching out there.
Brought down by Shine Killilicane. Excuse me, sorry.
So you look at JT in the first half, didn't have any catches. Big catch, and who else would you go to? Logan Lester once again hauls it in. Looked like that was cotton candy just getting floated to him. Lester, a poetic catch for a huge touchdown.
It was right down the seam in the middle of the 2 defenders for Moorpark. That is his 3rd touchdown of the game.
So we've got a player down on the field behind the play right now.
11 is now the holder.
All right.
So Logan had 2 catches in the first half with no touchdowns. So 2 catches with no touchdowns in the first half, but Logan Lester finally on his 3rd catch pulls in a touchdown. So it's the Hornets 32, Moorpark 14 on Hornet Radio. Don't forget, Hornet football right around the corner. Joe Ryan bringing you that. Make sure you check the Hornet homepage to find out what's going and athletics to see what games will be on the air. We will be here for all the home games on football. They will be here on home games here at Fullerton, some on Tuesday, some on Friday. So you'll hear them as the voices for Hornet soccer
And
here
don't
on
forget,
Hornet Radio.
You can tune in on September the 16th at 7 p.m. as Fullerton will take on Cuyamaca. And the Fullerton
Which
College
way did you
Hornets-
call it?
Cuyamaca.
Yeah, that's how I call it,
Yeah.
Cuyamaca.
No, I know. I'm just making
Oh.
sure that we have it.
Okay.
But September the 16th at 7 p.m., Cuyamaca will be here at Fullerton College for the second time in 3 years. There is a Coaches Show this week that published last night. If you haven't had the opportunity to go check it out, go and listen to Caleb Ramos talk to Mark Pavlovich, the head play-by-play guy for Fullerton College football for the last 25 years, and learn more about the man that was Hal Sherbeck. You can go to YouTube, search Hornet Radio, and that is where you can find everything.
Boy, I was a little concerned. I thought he was going to say the man that was Fullerton College, and then my name was going to get mentioned. I was going to say, wait a minute. Something happened on the ride over here? I have been, haven't I? Yeah. I love when the old guy behind me says that, too. I
Mark,
can
it's
remember when you had no gray in your beard.
Mark, it's like the ghost of La Palma Park. But when we're talking about you being the play-by-play guy, it's like the ghost of La Palma Park.
Mickey
but instead,
Flynn?
Yeah, but instead it's just the ghost of KBPK. Ooh, it's gonna be like this, Mark. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. When I am an older man, Mark is going to be coming by KBPK and Hornet Radio, going, "Ooh, did you tape that down?"
Did I, Cornelia, did I hear Mickey Flynn is going to come here? Don't forget about Hornet Media here at Fullerton College. And when you look at Hornet Media, it covers journalism, radio, multimedia podcasting, a variety of different aspects for it. Don't forget we have a newspaper, we have a magazine that's done and published constantly. If you're interested in getting into the year and area of information, and that's what this year is, make sure you check out Hornet Media. Go to the homepage of Hornet Media. You can see past stories, past podcasts, variety of different shows that are on there. We have a print department here. Don't ever forget about the printing department. As the player slowly comes off the field. So, and of course, then again, we do have a team store here for that. So if you're looking to get some jerseys in the sense of wearing that like Joe's got today for the Sherbeck Football Classic, you could find T-shirts and anything like that that would help you be that fan here for Fullerton College. 1st and 10 for Moorpark. Pressure. Across the middle. Nice little crossing route. Easy little drop right there to Ben Trey Worthy. And Ben Trey finally picks up that big amount of yardage they needed.
That was the same play they ran earlier for the touchdown with the motion wheel, but this time they followed the wheel route and it was well covered, but they left someone open across the middle.
Hike without a call hits off the quarterback's helmet. So, you know, when a quarterback signals, all of a sudden you get like Aiden may move his hand, may do something, and then it's a 4 count for the center. The center goes 1,002, 1,003, 1,004. He's going to hike it without looking. So you've got to make sure you're on the same page. Brings up a 2nd down and 14 for them. Aiden Karsh looks over. Big 2nd down play for Moorpark. Fullerton comes up on the corner. Linebacker sneak in. Run play coming down on the right side. Gain of maybe 1. So they try to get the run going. Carson Green
It was
Has
Johnny Ingram on the tackle here on the Fullerton College sideline.
So it's a big third down for Moorpark. We get timeout quickly by the Hornets. Everybody looked over. The sideline realized the linebacker didn't know where he should be on the play, so they call a quick timeout. With 9:41 to go here in the second half, third quarter, it's the Hornets 32, Moorpark 14 here on Hornet Radio. Don't forget, when we talk about Hornet Media, Hornet Radio, there's a variety of different shows that you can find when you go to the homepage. So you can look at the magazine, you can look at the online newspapers and the stories they have. They do podcasts down in journalism. You may want to flip up when we're talking about Hornet Media, which is Hornet Media, which is the media in all aspects, radio plus podcast for us, a variety of different shows. One of our young women have a new show that, I don't know, when's that getting released, guys? Do we have any idea when Wade's show's getting released? So we have a show. We'll let you know when that's coming out. And her whole thing is based on when NASA sent the golden record into outer space. So a variety of different subject matters here at Hornet Media. 9:41. Empty backfield. Aiden Karsh looks around. Third down, long to go. Aiden double pumps, resets, double pumps, resets, throws it up and out of bounds. Fourth down.
Looked like he was trying to maybe get it to Jude Hooks right there. Overthrown if that was the case, but it could be just trying to throw it out of bounds because he was under pressure and had nowhere to go with the ball. Defense did a fantastic job at covering.
Fred Adams stuck all the way when you look at Jude Hooks. So Fred Adams didn't let him get free at all. Fourth down and 11. Moorpark keeps their offense on the line. Down by 18. Quick kick by the quarterback. Off the back of a lineman. Picked up on the outside. So it's blocked. Basically, they're picked up by Josh Griffin. And Josh Griffin gets it off the back. So what happens is they're going with the quick kick. They kick it off the back of an offensive lineman. Josh is there and picks it up, runs down the field. And I tell you what, if you're a big defensive lineman, that's the one thing you want. Once again, I'm going to say, even though it was defense, I'll make that, well, because of the guy you had up here, defense slash a special team play to put Fullerton in scoring position.
They tried, like you mentioned, they tried to go for a quick kick with their quarterback, and he just kind of shanked it off the side of his foot. And then it wasn't near Josh Griffin originally. The quarterback tried to swat it.
He didn't shank it. He kicked it into the back of an offensive lineman, and it hit and came straight up. So, I mean, the offensive lineman went backwards on that. First down and 10 for the Hornets. And the defense steps up for Moorpark on an all-out blitz for Moorpark on that one.
That was Evan Watts and Ario Medrano combining for that blitzed sack.
So big 10-yard loss, drives it all the way back. Second down and 20. Run it, little dance to the outside. O.J. Jones with that one. So O.J. takes it, gets a little yardage.
That was Medrano on the tackle again. Great start to the drive for him.
Luke Indorf, who has a touchdown in this game, comes back in. Luke to the far side of the field. Next to Luke is going to be J.T. Weir. So both of them with touchdowns, standing next to each other, double dipping over there. Try to step up and run away and smothered on that on a quarterback delay. where you take 3 steps back, you count to 1,001, and then the hole opens, hopefully, and you take off running. Defense was their 4th down, so the offense really not moving. That's going to be right about the 20. We're going to try. You're going to spot the ball at the 28. You add 10, it's going to be a 38. Let's make it a 39-yard attempt. 39-yard field goal.
60.
Kick is up, and it's just off to the right. No good.
That looked a little short to me. He was hitting from about that range in warm-ups earlier today before the game, but just short on that one.
So Michael Vatkin comes up a little short. They're going to bring it back to the 22-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 with 7:30 to go. Here in the third quarter, well, the guys that are the home team here decided to wake up for the crowd and everybody in the booth and take the lead.
Oh yeah, he's the busiest man in the world, man.
Starting out the half with such a great kick return, like you mentioned, about 85 yards. That's got to wake any team up, especially coming right out of half.
Yeah, so the Hornets have done something. Moorpark needs to do something once again to get back in the game. They need 18 points to get back. Running up the middle, sidestep, go to the outside, needs a block. Down the sidelines, finally forced out at the 40. And the fans who turned out for Moorpark, I have to tell your school, this is just a nice turnout for Moorpark. Moorpark's not right down the street. Moorpark's a little journey for them to get here. And so for the fans who came from Moorpark, thank you. For the fans from Moorpark watching, once again, this team is a team that you're going to enjoy watching this year through this season. They've got a lot of exciting players and a lot of dynamic players along the way. First down and 10, right at the 37 for Moorpark. Little flip throw, can't get it there. Incomplete. Trying to go down over to Reese Kelly. Reese Kelly couldn't pull it in. Incomplete. Second down and 10.
You had Jude Hooks down here, press coverage against Fred Adams, and great coverage by him, and had to go the opposite way of their best guy.
If you're a Hornet fan, watch Daniel Ortiz in the middle of that defensive line put some pressure on this team from Moorpark. Here they come, straight up the middle. Caught, taken down quickly. It's going to bring down a third down and another pass play over to Reese Kelly.
It was Leonard Adams with the arm tackle. He had to kind of spin around and drag him down. Not exactly a solid tackle, but whatever gets him on the ground.
It's going to bring in more people. So Josh Grethen, who got that pick earlier off the back, picks it off the back of an offensive lineman on a quick kick. Tried to take it all the way in. He's back in the game, playing here on the outside. We'll see what he can do. Here they come on the corners, throwing up deep, going down there, back up, intercepted by the Hornets, and I think that was Fred Adams that pulled it down.
Yes, it was. He was one-on-one with Jude Hooks once again, and the ball was a little bit underthrown, letting Adams settle under it and get his body in the perfect position to block out Hooks.
So the Hornets now, in the first half, had a couple turnovers. In the second half, they have gotten a couple turnovers. And you look at Fred just having an outstanding game for this Hornet defense.
Defensive coordinator Brian Crooks for the Hornets has to be happy with his team's performance in this second half.
Chris Lunsberg still in at quarterback. So they're going to change things up as Dominic Anich.
That was KK Johnson on the initial contact.
Second down and 8. Across the middle on a dime. Pull it down quickly. That's Jameer Cartagena. So Corey Nayland said, hey, we're going to correct the way saying his name. So I'm going to go with the guys when they tell me that.
I was KK Johnson on the tackle once again.
First and 10 for the Hornets. Throw out the flat. Got to make the first initial move. You try to, you do it. JT Weir gets bumped out of bounds after a gain of 4 on the play.
There is a flag on the field on the far sideline.
Holding on the Hornets, or illegal push in the back.
That play was just to get JT Weir in space. I mean, he's done extremely well in that, both catching and on kickoffs. He's very, very shifty and showed it getting past that first initial tackler.
So we're going to mark it back. Straight up the middle with Dominique. So he goes up, gets a gain of about 2.
That was, I believe, Ario Medrano on the wrap-up.
Get a timeout. So an injury timeout with 4:38 to go. Well, the Fullerton College Hornets are doing what they should do. Win their opening game and win it here at home. Nice turnout from the Hornet fans as we look to the left and right. Big turnout today for the first home game. They're getting ready to go to Ventura, where it could be one of the picks when we look at the north, the central, and the south, where it could be. Don't forget, I've got the young man standing next to me, Caleb Ramos, when it talks about sports here at Fullerton College. Don't forget the Coaches Show. Every week we'll have that coming out. Variety of different topics, subject matters, different individuals that we'll have out there. I couldn't figure out which to say, subject or topic, so it came out Tuppet. Big second down. Time to study. Back, side stretch. Throw it up, flip it, and I'm going to throw it out of bounds. Boy, talk about a dance of survival. That's survival island back there. I mean, you know, you're not going to tackle me, I'll run this way. You're not going to tackle me, I'll run that way. I'm free and clear. I'm giving my ticket back. I'm throwing the ball out of bounds. And again, that's something you look at in a quarterback's ability to move things on. Third down for the Hornets. Lindsberg at quarterback. Goes back. Has time. Cross on a crossing pattern and just misses everybody on the play. And Fox Hagen was there on a crossing pattern, wide open.
Yeah, Lundsberg just sailed it a little bit high. If he not dropped his elbow, but released the ball a tiny bit later, that would have been right on the money.
So that brings up fourth down. And Moorpark looking for something magical on their side of the field. Angel Urban back deep for him. He's going to stand at the 23-yard line. Run somebody on the field just at the very end. Wide gaps on the punt team. We get a flag on the play. Delay a game against Fullerton College. So that's going to move him back 5 yards.
Snapped the ball about 0.2 seconds, a little bit too late.
So it gives him a little more room. Moves Angel up about a couple of yards. Look to see if he can make the break on this one. Ball bounces. Fair meat on the table. and it gets out. We get a little pushing and shoving. Referee step in. A lot of chippy conversation in this first half. We had a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. And so now they've decided to take control back of the game.
Obviously, it's first game of the season for both these teams. Tempers are going to be a bit high. Adrenaline's going to be going. First game jitters, all of that. It's going to get a little bit chippy. Tempers are going to flare. And like you mentioned, refs trying to take control of that before it gets too out of hand.
First down and 10 for Moorpark. Jude Hooks comes out to the near side of the field. Roll back, throwing across the middle of the field. Jude is all by himself. He outran everybody. First down for Moorpark. And he ran by the defensive backs. Norwood couldn't stop him, and they just split the defense all the way down to the 20.
Yeah, but at the same time, Hooks had to do like a full 360 trying to track the ball. If the ball was placed a tiny bit better or more out in front, he would have been free and clear to the end zone.
Well, there was pressure from the defensive line from the Hornets. So you've got a quarterback that's moving that can't set his feet to throw it. When you think about it, a good 40 yards in the air, I'll take that anytime. If I got to run and I can get it to you where somebody can catch it, that's a positive.
True.
Stat-wise, it looks like it was a perfect pass. Right up the middle. Stays on his feet all the way down to the 15. So Moorpark is on the move.
That was Mark Esley II on that tackle.
Second down and a long 4.
6-yard gain for Green, 2nd and 4.
No hurry-up field by Moorpark with 2:45 to go in this third quarter. They've got a lot to gain. They got to pick up the pace sometime. Here comes the pressure. Fling it. There's nobody there. And when you get somebody down, we'll see if that's roughing the passer or that lays. Personal foul, roughing the passer. So that just keeps the drive moving. And Caleb, if you watch enough Fullerton College football, you will see that the Hornets have a tendency to get a lot of yellow hankies on the field. Some called for, some not. Many unashamable that they shouldn't have. First and goal for Moorpark. Across the middle, splits it. Nice little catch. And who else but Jude Hooks?
They had two guys crossing, one going in, one going out, the one on the motion going out, and then Jude Hops just kind of found the center.
Jude Hops?
Excuse me, Jude Hooks. My mistake.
Okay.
Misspeak from me. Just found the center where that was Nehemiah Norwood. Couldn't quite keep up.
So Moorpark should go for 2, which they will.
Being down 12 right now, it's even if you go for 2 and don't get it, that's still 2 possession game. Got to bring it as close as you can.
So Moorpark goes back, pressure, throws it out in the flat, 2-point conversion. So Moorpark gets in for 2.
It was just a quick swing pass to the running back. Johnny Ingram, the linebacker, couldn't get there in time. He was just wide open, nobody around him, and all he had to do was take a couple of steps.
So Moorpark climbs within 10. So with a whole quarter left and 2 minutes in this third quarter, they've gotten back in the football game.
Right, but they had the momentum right now, but Fullerton had it at the end of the first half, start of the second half. They had it in the middle of the first half. Momentum is a finicky thing. It swings back and forth all the time.
JT Weir back deep for the Hornets. See if they can make another great return, which we've seen today.
7-3. Cartagena and Weir.
Valentino Lara, the kicker for Moorpark. Little slide pooch shot, and he kicks it out of bounds on a line drive. Wow, that's interesting.
I mean, at that point, they're just trying to keep it away from Weir and Cartagena, excuse me. They're just trying to keep it away from them just so they don't get bombed on like they did at the start of the half.
Well, look where you're going to give them field position at. Watch when they drop the ball. So they're going to make them re-kick it. Used to be where they would just put it around the 40-yard line. So they're going to let them re-kick it.
Like you were saying, if they didn't have them re-kick, they'd have it about the 40. But in my opinion, better than the 40 than your own 10, right?
Yeah. See, I think this is an advantage to the kicking team. It's not much of a penalty moving back 5 yards.
True.
Try it again. See? Try it again. Goes again. So we're going to move it back again. So if, if you were out at a little par 3 course, this would be like playing golf with, he's talking so he won't hear me. Corey Nail. Tell me the hole 60 yards long. Just hit it straight, man.
Right.
No, you weren't mentioned.
And the third time is a charm. The Moorpark Raiders will toe the ball again. They're making them play.
So now they move it back to the 25. You keep kicking it out of bounds. I mean, by the time you get down to the goal line.
I mean, at that point, at what point, if you're Moorpark, do you say, let's kick it off instead of trying to kick it out of bounds?
This is what he's going to do. Because if you watch him doing what he's trying to do, he just drops it and walks back like 4 feet. Now he's going to kick it down the middle. Well, now we catch it, got it at the 20. Looking for a group to lead me, taken up all the way out to the 42. Again, little scrums. People get pulled down, and this is where now the players cannot lose control in a game.
And as you say, a flag comes out, probably unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, we'll see. As conversations will go on by the officials, and it could be 2 ways if it's anything.
True.
Dead ball. So we'll see who it is on. Yeah, but I'm waiting to see. One guy looks like he's going to walk this way, so it's going to be against the Hornets.
Yes, I believe towards the end of that, at about midfield, about right on the logo, player for Fullerton kind of shoved a Moorpark guy down and then stood over him.
First down and 10 for the Hornets after that penalty. Quick little throw. And we get a player that gets shoved down, and they're looking. Well, I tell you what, referee is going to start throwing a lot of hankies on this field, because you watch Dylan Spencer, the big offensive lineman that went after a defensive back on the play and flattened him. Nothing was called.
And
Defensive back was looking for a flag.
And then a slight shoulder check on the way back to a different defensive back as well.
Second down, 10. Straight up the middle. So nice little run straight up the middle. The Isabel. So Isabel makes a nice run.
That was Anthony Mata with the wrap-up, and such a big scrum that he has to come off for a play. His helmet got popped off in the middle of that pile.
2:05 to go. 32-22. The Hornets up on top. Go back. Look at slanting pattern. Got to hold on to the ball. You do. JT Weir not down yet. So let's see when the whistle gets blown. It gets blown right at the 45-yard line. First down, Hornets.
That was Nolan Story who made the contact and held JT Weir just long enough for his teammate to come get him. JT Weir was really, really close to breaking that.
Cartagena to the near side of the field. Weir goes to the far side of the field with Lester Logan. First down and 10. Looking to go deep. Cartagena on the middle. If you throw the dime there, the phone call is made. Sorry, wrong number.
Cartagena split the seam between
he
Story
getting a
and
phone call.
Richmond right there.
Second down. Blitz gets picked up on a really nice play. You watch that blitz getting picked up by Isbell, who comes up, steps up, and gets the middle linebacker by himself. Makes that play possible.
Allen could be on the tackle and kind of just dropped him, went high and straight down to the floor.
So Lester makes a catch to move the chains.
That was Allen Gabi again on the tackle. Back-to-back, same players.
First down and 10 for the Hornets. Hornets on the move. Going back, standing. Had time, thought he could get the ball off. Chris Lunsberg just took a little too much time to try and get it up in the air.
Flag on the play once again, and Lunsberg looked like he was going to try and just chuck it out of bounds or chuck it downfield as he was getting dragged down. He decided at the last.
Looks like somebody tried to be nice and say, I'm going to help, holding on the offensive line. You know, and then you think about that. Well, maybe Keeney now comes back in the game, the offensive lineman. Down to 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. As we come to the end of the third quarter, it's the Hornets 32, the Raiders 22. Here on Hornet Radio. Caleb, Joey, Ryan, Joe, Corey, Vito, a variety, and Becky, a variety of different people, all here on Hornet Radio today. Thanks for watching us here on Hornet Radio. Don't forget, we're going to be here for all the home games. Don't forget, soccer's coming around. Multimedia. Look at all the home pages for journalism auto, printing, you name them, they are here at the department. If any of these are something you'd like to do, make sure you come to Fullerton College. People standing next to me, they've been here. The people standing behind me, they've all come through the program. So if you're checking it out, you're looking for something to do, you graduated from college, but you want to learn more about a profession, no better place to come than our home here, Fullerton College. So let me dial in for this fourth quarter. See if I can get a dial tone and an operator that'll connect me to Hornet Radio. If we do, you'll be watching us here. Big fourth quarter for the Hornets. Across the middle of the field, overshoot. Running back open as he rolls out. Nobody goes after Fred Hunter. Fred Hunter said, hey, man, I run my route. Throw me the football.
Didn't have time to even look towards Fred on the right side. The swing route wide open, like you mentioned. He got flattened by Tyler Woods as he let go of that football down the middle.
2nd down and 20 for the Hornets. Hunter sort of leading. Fred says, you know what? If I can run the football, I'll get you another first down. And, of course, Fred Hunter does get him another first down.
That was Andrew Ruiz, D lineman, on the tackle. And he did get 10 yards, but not enough for a first down. He still got another 10 to go.
You know, Fred has been good. It'd be interesting to see. He's going to be close to 100 yards in this game. Of course, I'm going to say that, and then somebody's going to tell me it's around 65. But I think Fred's doing well in the running game today. We'll see what the final numbers are. 3rd down. Quarterback keeps it himself, runs the outside, dances. Lunsberg gets a first down on the play. Chris, the big frame quarterback, not necessarily a runner, tried to get the first down but comes up just a little short.
It was Dylan Valdez who went low on the quarterback, just bringing him down just enough to not let him get the first 5 yards away from the first.
So they're going to punt it away. Back deep is going to be Angel Urban for the Raiders. Nobody really rushing. Urban, high floater. If they can get there, bounces into the end zone for a touchback. So as we start this third quarter, well, the Hornets looking good, feeling good. And if you look good and you feel good, we know you're really doing well in life here on Hornet Radio. 13:33 to go. It's the Hornets 32, the Raiders 22 here on Hornet Radio. You know, I talk about community college and how you should go to all. Don't forget our sister school, Cypress College, other schools in the area, Irvine Valley, Saddleback College. If you live in those areas, check out those community colleges. We talk about everybody that's our sister and brothers here in the Community College Network on Hornet Radio. 1st down and 10 for Moorpark. Shot just a little low. Lunsberg's got 4 touchdowns in this game today. Fred Hunter with 57 yards, averaging 8 yards a carry. Big Jack, when he was in the game, 47 yards for 7.8 yards a carry so far in this game. Thank you, Joe, for handing me that.
You were close with 65.
Yeah. Did you say I'm close to 65? Thank you. I appreciate that.
Not what I said, but if you want to take it that way,
I'll take it that way. Moorpark can't get out of the backfield. Brings up a 3rd down. The voice of Fullerton College football going on to my 26 years. I have seen a lot of wonderful players, a lot of student athletes, some great coaches, wonderful friends that we have all made here. I've had the pleasure of having my partner Corey Naylor with me for about 23, 24 years. Ryan Osborne behind me going on, well, Ryan's going to say less, 12? How many years? 12? 12 years together. It's been a ball doing Fullerton College sports. 3rd down and 10. Hornets bring the pressure. Got to have time. Got to have time. Sacked in the backfield.
That was a combined sack between the D lineman David Frankling and Josh Grethen, just swallowing him up, not letting him go anywhere.
So Brian Crooks' defense, who looked iffy at the start of the game, now are getting an A+ from some of the people in the back of the booth. Well, Mr. Nayland, you know what? We'll have to just tell Phil, Austin, Corey Nayland's got some moms. I mean, you give him B+, C+. Little short punt. Take it at the 40. Dancing up the middle. Going to the outside. Staying on his feet.
It was Tyler Woods with the tackle on JT Weir on the return. They were close to blocking it again. That's why the punt went so high.
So I got a C+. I got a C+. C+ and a B. B-. So. Oh, and Becky gave him a So there we go. Brian, I'm just telling you, that's the other people in the booth here on Hornet Radio, grading the defense. Thought we'd just add a little more color to the broadcast today. Straight up the middle, touchdown Hornets. Straight dive play up the middle with Jeremiah Fred Hunter. So Fred is close to 100 yards now, up the middle.
Fred Hunter running that touchdown in from the 20. Great credit to the line up front. Fred Hunter all the way from Victorville. Long drive. Something I have to deal with every day.
You know what? If you drive as well as Fred Hunter runs, you could get here a lot quicker than you normally do. In saying that, we look at the scoreboard, and the Hornets now once again are stretching their lead for the Hornets here on Hornet Radio. It's been a fun game. Next week, the Hornets will be in Ventura, and this should be one of the teams should be. What was that? It'll be Ventura's 100-year anniversary, and the Hornets will be there. And when you think of Ventura, perennial powerhouse in the 3C2A, the SCFA, we'll see if they are one of the main leaders in their conference this year. So Ventura does broadcast their games. Like I said, we won't be on the road, but you will be able to watch your Fullerton College football team next weekend. Little low line drive. Trying to make the turn. Outside, just have to clear one corner. Can't do it. As trying to clear that corner was Johnson and couldn't make the turn out there.
Fred Adams makes a textbook tackle. That's exactly what you see when you're trying to teach Pee Wee kids. Stay low, side shuffle, wrap up, hit him with your shoulder. That was perfect.
So Moorpark comes back in. 11:33 to go here in the fourth quarter. Hornets feeling good. Audience members feeling better here on Hornet Radio. Flip in the back. Incomplete.
Carson Green was wide open. Aiden Karsh just kind of sailed it to the right a little bit. Pressure was in his face. He tried to get rid of it and couldn't complete it.
So you need to come up big for that. Clock ticks away. Moorpark in no hurry now. Clock is stopped.
I was going to say clock is not ticking. That was an incomplete pass.
Still, there's a play clock.
Play clock was ticking, yes.
Loss on that play. So it's going to bring up a third down.
Diallo Saliu with the tackle on that one, and that was Shane Herrera getting the pressure and hit on Aiden Karsh.
So defense comes back out.
Third down for the Moorpark Raiders.
Josh Griffin back in the game, along with Des Palomalu. They come with heat. Gets hit at the last second, incomplete, and the thing is down. Des Palomalu was there, and the other gentleman I just talked about, Josh Griffin, was there.
Give that quarterback hurry to Hornet 99, Josh Griffin.
Southwestern is up. Southwestern beat Canyon today 26-24. So Canyons loses by 2. Victor Valley won their game 31-17.
Timeout's been called for the Moorpark Raiders.
West LA is over LA Valley 27-3. Feather River, we expect this, is beating Coalinga today. American River's losing their game. They're down by 4. Sacramento City, 16, Redwood 6. San Mateo, who won the state championship, up 10-0. Transferred 44 players, and they are ranked number 1 in the state of California. Mount Sac, number 2. Corey Nayland says they should be because they're defending state champions. Mr. Nayland says so. That's
Obviously,
gospel.
it's true.
San Francisco 28, Santa Rosa 21, De Anza 21, San Joaquin Delta 2, Sisquas 28, Gavilan 3, Orange Coast, Allen Hancock. Oliver, what are you laughing at the way I said that name? Sisquas. I call it my way. You know what? We go check with some of these schools. Because I know when Cuyamaca was going on. Oh, you know, I just got the pointing from Corey Nayland. So, Caleb, don't feel bad. I still get it today. 4th down. Moorpark's going for it. Fling it off the hands. The defense comes up big. Let me try this one. Allen Hancock against Orange Coast, 28-13. Okay? And that is it for the rest of the games.
There was a penalty on the play. They're moving it up 5 yards, it looks like, and it's going to be a replay of 4th down.
So did they call it offsides?
I didn't see the hand motion by the ref. I just saw
Offsides.
the
Offsides. Fourth down. Moorpark's looking and saying, run the clock, run the clock. That's what Corey Nayland's saying. Run the clock, run the clock. And the referee said, nah.
back, delay a game.
You know, you know, We were going to just continue it, but we're going to call delay a game, so that moves it back to where it was. Just continue it, but we're going to call delay a game, so that moves it back to where it was. Brings up fourth down. We just had this play.
Right back to exactly where they were.
Big fourth down. Feeling good. Hornets looking to start the season off on a positive note. Fourth down and 13. They sell out. Everybody's coming. Get yanked on the arm, and the quarterback is livid. Incomplete pass. So the Hornets will get the ball right there at the 33.
About 10.5 minutes left. Hornets got to try and obviously score, but run the clock as much as they can.
Our third quarterback of the day. I was heard that we may see him, but I guess not. Going to stick with the two. And what's interesting is I'm just wondering, as practice goes on, if Jack's status isn't good. Second down. 5 to go. Quarterback keeper. Don't tackle him. Stay on your feet, get enough for a first down, move the chains. So Chris Lunsberg, once again. And Caleb, this goes back to we have two different quarterbacks. As you can see, the game plan does not change. This is your game plan, and you as a quarterback must fit into the game plan that's being offered by your offensive coordinator.
Right. I wasn't saying the offense would change their game plan. I was saying defense would adjust based on what they see on film on what QB is better
But you're
at.
going to change. You're going to change everything up every week.
And
so
there's the third quarterback you were talking about.
There it is, because I heard that Corin Riders was going to get a chance to play today.
I thought it was Renders.
Is it Renders? So it was being told it's Renders. So Corin comes out here. We'll see what he does when he comes out. So it's been a successful day for your Fullerton College Hornets. They played exemplary offense as the game went on. The defense stiffened, which is what you like to see from Brian Crooks, because there's somebody who adjusts his game plan as the game that is going on, not the game he just saw on tape, but what he is seeing now. And this is why, the coaches are all excited about the new huddle system on the air, because the huddle system allows them to change what they can do on there. So while they're watching what's going on in the field now, they change the defense. They change the offense. And if you're not flexible as a coach and you can't adapt, you're in trouble. Renders in at quarterback now. Hands it off. Dropped for a loss. So Renders tries to get it going.
That was
Graylin Kelly gets taken down.
That was Evan Watts on the initial wrap-up, and Luke Peffer coming in to deal the final hit.
Second down and 12. Get jump on the front. No flag. Thought we would get a flag. Didn't get one. Straight dive play right there to Jeremiah Green. Oh, to Fred Hunter.
And that was Evan Watts again.
Straight up the middle. Isabel just holds on to it. So Quentin Isbell Isabel just looks good. I like Quentin. I like him as a runner. Great north to south runner when you watch him. And when you watch these running plays, most of them are off the tackle. So the offensive line has looked good this entire game. Keep going straight up the middle. That's what you do.
That's Kevin Brannon stopping the running back just short of a touchdown, about 2 yards, I'd say.
So Isabel carries it again. Quentin. As the clock's at 7:36. Second down. In the middle of the line, just a little short. Going to bring up a third down.
That was Adrian Zabo, excuse me, with the initial wrap up, and then Evan Watts again with the tackle.
Add a few more big guys out there. Michael McDonald comes out there. Wildcat. There it is from behind. Touchdown. Quentin Isbell gets the touchdown for the Hornets.
Alan Gaby almost tracked him down, swatted the ball out of his hand while he was showboating, just a second too late.
So Quentin gets on the board also.
6:53 left to go. Hornets 45.
45-22. Well, at the start of the game, Moorpark looked good. It looked like they were going to be competitive as they jump over the line of scrimmage. Flag on the play.
PAT's up and good by Nicholas Sandoval. Now bring our score at the third annual Sherbeck Football Classic. Fullerton Hornets 46. Your Moorpark Raiders 22.
So we'll see what the flag is. Little conversation going on out there with Hayden Frazier.
Looked like he was just trying to see what the call was, what was going on, as the refs have a little huddle of their own trying to figure out exactly what happened.
Kenny was on the field. Referees huddled together. I think they're just going to pick up the flag. No, they're not. Kick is good. I missed the signal for what the penalty was. Or didn't he? He pointed towards both teams.
What do you feel like? Heroes is very good if you want a lot of food. Yes. They got good nachos.
So they're going to mark the ball at the 50. We didn't see a signal on the field. We saw both teams get pointed at. Some of the people up here said running into the kicker, but that's not a 15-yard penalty. Ball goes into the end zone, so it'll be an automatic touchback. Then they said roughing the kicker. I didn't see that.
I think I saw number 21 from Moorpark, Alan Gaby, run into the kicker afterwards, and I saw the kicker on the floor, but I didn't see the actual hit.
So 6:53 to go here in the fourth quarter, and your Hornets have 46 big points on the board. 22 they have given up.
Bit of a weird football score, but
46-22, and if you're an offensive lineman, you have had a good football game. If you're a defensive lineman, you too have had a good football game. And your quarterbacks and your running backs have taken advantage of your skills on offense. Your linebackers and defensive backs have done that on the other side. gain of maybe a yard on the play.
It was Connor Nunez on the tackle.
Morgan, the ball carrier for the Raiders.
Second down and 9 for the Raiders. Turn the corner. Going down all the way across the 42 with a great deal of speed coming out of the backfield. And you've got to love players that do this when they finally get into the game. Didn't necessarily have that opportunity to show you that burst of speed as a running back and can demonstrate what they can do. Thrown out here in the corner. Nice little move once again by Reese Kelly. Kelly shows a lot as a receiver. Dylan Hasid is now in the game for Moorpark. So Dylan gets him to jump. Free play. No, they're not going to give him a free play. It's going to be against Moorpark, illegal procedure with 5:41 to go.
It's not what they need. They're down 24 with, so still 3 possessions with only 5 minutes to go. They needed that free play. It's going to be almost impossible to come back anyways. It's just they needed that if they wanted the best chance at it.
So they end up now getting ready. Lucas Jensen goes out to the far side of the field. See if they look at Jensen and in his direction. Second down and 9. Going back. They flip it to the back. Coming out of the field. Nobody's at home. This is all the way. If he can outrun people, don't look over that shoulder. Touchdown, Moorpark. All you have to do is keep on running. Yanokian makes it on that. So Yanokian gets a wheel route coming out and makes the turn all the way down.
E.J. Robinson almost tracked him down with that at the goal line. Almost punched out the ball, but not quite.
So they're going to go for 2.
I mean, they have to if they want to keep it a 2 possession. If they kick it, it's still a 3 possession game.
Go back. Here comes the pressure. Flings it in the back. 2-point is once again converted by them.
It was Tristan Johnson wide open in the back of the end zone.
Yellow Hanky sitting there with 5 minutes plus a few seconds. It's good. Personal foul against Moorpark. So they're calling the play successful, and then the penalty is after the play ended. And that's why, if you're wondering why they're not getting moved back on the 2-point conversion, the play was done. Then the penalty is called. You move it back, and it'll be assessed on the kickoff. So Moorpark has been successful on a couple 2-point conversions.
Defense has held up well, but when faced with that short yardage situation, they've left a couple of guys wide open.
Nitpicky, nitpicky, nitpicky. Three hard workers and 12 supervisors. Almost like a group of officials being up in the booth here. Sorry, somebody patted me down. I couldn't hear a thing. What, did somebody say something that I don't even know where the voice came from?
Jackson Simon. Kicking off for Moorpark Raiders, Jackson Simon. And who we got back deep? Tell me it's 7-3. 7-3. Waiting Simon's kickoff. Weird.
5 minutes ago, Caleb, and this game will come to a merciful close. Off the hands. Ball is free. Picked up, falling on. Can't get it. Hornets should have recovered it. They had an opportunity. King
That was
Taco.
Jim-
Before East LA game.
That was Jameer Cartagena who covered up the ball after the ball ricocheted off the hands of Dominic Anich.
Well, it was a ball that somebody tried to catch and couldn't handle it. So that's why it was down in the ground. If you're going to be somebody that's there and all of a sudden you can't catch that line drive, then get out of the way. And, I don't blame a player for trying to get it, but that's the reason behind it. Trying to figure out who's on the field. Hornets looking around. Blaine McGee, the tight end, now in the game for the Hornets. So Blaine comes in. He'd be technically the up back. So McGee tries to do.
Wrapped up by Evan Watts.
Fred Hunter was the runner. No gain on the play. Coming off the field is going to be Josh Rios. So Josh was out there as an offensive player for one play. Josh comes out. Render's still in at quarterback. So Renders taking his time, letting the clock down. We're at 4:14. Straight dive play right up the middle, staying on your feet, get taken down, get across midfield.
Alan Gabi with the final drag down.
Another big run for Fred Hunter. Moving the chains for a Hornet first down. Eating up the yards for the Hornets.
So Fred comes off the field close to 100 yards for today's game. Fred having a very good game for your Hornets. So the running attack has done well. The passing attack has looked better in the second half. Out to the right side, trying to make a move on that was Dominic Enchich.
That was the player on the kickoff who let the ball bounce off his hands.
So gets stopped on that one.
Mario Vasquez Rocha comes on.
Jared Kaysen now comes in as a wide receiver. So Kaysen goes to the far side of the field for your Fullerton College Hornets. Straight dive play again. So the Hornets going to be content to run a dive play. We get time out on the field for the Raiders with 2:40 to go. Well, it's the Hornets 46, the Raiders 30. Here on Hornet Radio, Ryan, Joe, Corey, Caleb, Becky, Vita. The Hornet. So don't forget we've got Newspaper, we got magazine, we've got the Hornet. If you're somebody who really wants to get involved, and we know journalism is so big in this nation today, no matter where you stand and look at anything politically, there has to be that written word that lets you know what it's all about. You need to find out about the written word. Take journalism here. We have the newspaper, we have the magazine. It allows you to expand yourself and your mind and creativity by taking journalism and being part of the Hornet. Oh, okay. And of course, you want to wear the jersey that Joe's got on here. It says Sherbeck Football Classic, not Sherbeck. Sherbeck. I know a lot of people thought Joe was bringing ice cream or Sherbeck. Make sure you check the home page for the home store for football. You can get your T-shirts, athletic shorts, anything with a Hornet name on it, and possibly feel like a member of the entire team. I've got my hat sitting here at the back that says Swarm City on it. Had that for a few years. Ryan Osborne's got his stuff. Corey's got his material. You look at Caleb today, he's got his Fullerton College shirt on, so make sure you check the home page and the store. Passing on athletic department material that you'd like to have part of in your home.
The Moorpark calls a timeout with about 2 minutes and 23 seconds left, trying to preserve the 2-minute warning in hopes that they can get the 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions they need to tie this game up.
Co-head coach Phil Austin, co-head coach Brian Crooks, Garrett Campbell, who's had an excellent day as a offensive coordinator. Mr. McCormick, the assistant defensive coach. Conrad White, defensive backs. David Robertson. David, been around for a while, defensive line. Robert Miranda, strength and conditioning, some of the other coaches here. Damian Porter, defensive back. Steve Valbuena, offensive analyst. Tonio Clifton, the receivers. Kevin Puckett, defensive back safeties. Josh Moorhead, tight ends. Some of the other coaches with this team. So 2:23 to go.
Got it. Okay.
So as we have timeout, I had a couple fans come up here and said, hey, this game has been so good today. I have a food question for you for a party after the game. So as we get this punt away, we'll throw that out to the people watching us here on Hornet Radio. Deep end over end kick. Takes a backspin and down by the Hornet. So the food question of the game is, hey, if you're at home, you've been watching us, you need a little snack, do you want jalapeno poppers or mac and cheese balls?
You know, me, I'd have to go mac and cheese balls. I'm not a big jalapeno guy. Although I think foods that shouldn't be fried, like pasta, probably shouldn't be, but I'd prefer it over the jalapeno poppers.
You know, if I were you, to spice yourself up, I'd be eating the jalapeno peppers. Mac and cheese can be very drab. Moorpark says, you know what? We'll eat some of those peppers too when we get a chance. First down, poppers, peppers, poppers, pepper poppers. Quarterback's running, looking for a pepper popper. Nice little flip out to coming out in the backfield, and a great catch by Lucas Jensen. who comes up and pulls it in, the wide receiver. And this was a wide receiver we were supposed to see more of in this game, that was supposed to be more involved. And that's the first catch Lucas has had in this game today.
Yeah, I mean, Fullerton has done a good job at taking away most of the options for this Moorpark offense. And even when they get open, shutting them down the next play, as they've done with Jude hooks.
So here's your question, Caleb.
Yeah.
Out of the two foods I offered, which one won't Corey Nalen eat?
I don't know. I'm going to guess the jalapeno poppers.
I'm going to say both. I'm going to say both. Corey Nalen, would you eat either one of these?
Oh, I was right. Would you look at that?
You have to make the mac and cheese, or a relative has to make the mac and cheese. Would you eat his mac and cheese, Ryan Osborne's? I'd mention their name, but they don't pay for advertising. So. Moorpark. And if you're a fan of Moorpark, give them a lot of credit. Make sure you come out and watch them. They have played good football today. They are going to have a good season. Pull it down, take off running, slide at the last second, just at the 45-yard line.
It was Xander Chisholm about to make the hit if the QB didn't slide.
So we get timeout by the officials. 2-minute game clock, so we'll take it right there. Well, overall, when you look at everything that goes on today, you will look at the offense, the defense, and everything else that's going on.
I think a lot of credit also needs to go to the coaching staff, especially Brian Crooks, and the adjustments that he made at halftime for this Fullerton defense to come out in the second half and make all the stops that they did.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Caleb. I think Brian once again will look at his defense, tell them what they need to do. You got Phil Austin that understands the defense and offensive as a assistant head coach, as they co-coach together. Both are head coaches. Then you have Garrett Campbell offensively, that if a quarterback gets hurt, he can not change the game plan, but he can adjust the game plan for that quarterback that follows. And we did see that the first quarterback that we thought was going to play a little more steps aside for whatever reason, and then Lensberg comes in here and puts away the game plan and the game for them. Pick on the sidelines, and once again,
that was E.J. Robinson with the interception. Looked like it was a one hand as with his right hand, as his left hand was tangled up with the receiver.
I'm not sure if I could say his hand was tangled up. I was going to say that he grabbed the receiver and sort of pulled on him a couple times, like shaking jelly beans out of a machine and taking it down. So Hornets should take a knee. Should take a knee. And the clock should run as we get out of here. 1:55 to go. 46-30, the Hornets. Deep back, and they're going to do exactly what I said they're going to do.
Who's the quarterback? Who's the quarterback? Who's the quarterback?
There is no quarterback.
They took a knee. So Renders took a knee.
I think he's just tapping it down. I can't see anything either.
So is That comes to an east. So the Hornets going to walk away with a 16-point victory in this game. Started off slow. Moorpark looked impressive. And everybody around here sort of went, uh-oh, maybe the press wasn't true. So we'll see if the press came out early and said, hey, Moorpark can play. Then at the end of the day, it looked like the Hornets finally woke up and said, no, we're going to control that home game. As the Hornets turned it over twice in the first half, that was huge. Didn't make any mistakes in the second half. As a matter of way, they walk away with 3 turnovers in the second half. And that might have been the determining outcome for this game. So that's the one thing we look. 46 impressive points by your Hornets. Moorpark, who played well today, 30 points. For Becky, Ryan, Caleb, Joe, Corey, Vito, everybody from the 145 class, this has been an exciting Fullerton College victory today here at home. The Hornets, 46. Moorpark, 30. You've been watching Fullerton College football on Hornet